Uh, man, old man. Uh, 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 uh. What's cracking? Yeah, today's my birthday, man. I'm 47. 47. Take the $7 challenge for my 47th birthday. I got some sleep last night. That was my salute, man. Salute. Salute to you guys, man. Happy Valentine's Day to you guys as well. Yeah, man. 47. Woo. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. Woo. Woo. We talking about. Woo. We shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the building. M626, Couch Merlot, Rebecca Kaplan, Laughing Dog. Oh wow, M626 on the board with the 47 for 47th birthday. Shout out to the to the to the M to the 626er. M626 in the building, getting it cracking. 47. Shout out to M626. Nigga 47. 47. When I started doing this stuff, man, would that be 2017? When I officially started doing it was the beginning of 2017. Woo. We talking about 8 years. I was in my 30s when I started doing this, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. I was in my 30s when I started doing this. This has been my favorite job, though. Of all my life, this has been my favorite job. Shout out to Ock Nation, man. A nation. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Man, I've been around, man. Been around these YouTube streets, man, for a minute, man. Seen a lot of come, seen a lot of go. Seen a lot of come, seen a lot of go. Pause. I've seen a lot of come. I've seen a lot of come. Shout out to Pamela Henderson. I've seen a lot of come. I've seen a lot of come. And I've seen a lot of go. Pause. Yeah, man. Ah, what a day. I went to the movies today, man. I took me and my wife went to the movies, man. Let me show you the movie we saw, man. I'm gonna go to Twitter. Show y'all on Twitter, man. I saw this movie today. Shout out to my man Nate Ways, man, in the building, man. Izzy Building, aka Ricky Henderson, getting the ball rolling, man. R.I.P. Ricky Henderson, man. I saw this movie today, man. Y'all will enjoy this movie. My wife didn't like it. She like a movie aficionado. She thinks she like on the the board for the Oscars. This movie was I like this movie. I mean, I knew, don't get me wrong, it wasn't the greatest movie ever. I knew what was gonna happen next a lot of times, but this was a very good movie. To me, it was good enough.
Psycho killer. Is it always this bumpy?
I think we should turn around.
Psycho killer.
The entire movie was on the plane. The entire movie was on the plane. Let's see what the people say. This guy says it is so bad it's genuinely one of the worst movies I've ever watched. I must like bad movies, man. I must like bad movies. Don't get me wrong, it was annoying because it was so predictable, but I ain't been to the movies in a while, but I enjoyed it, man. I enjoyed it, man. But I can tell you this, all of the what do you call it? The coming attractions, all those movies look dreadful. There wasn't one movie in the coming attractions that I would watch. Not one. All of them looked dreadful. So people are saying that it wasn't good. I thought it was good. This one says flight risk shouldn't have got the go ahead to take off. Mark Wahlberg over the top performance is a huge miss. What do you mean? Mark Wahlberg was very good in that movie. He was very convincing. What are they talking about? Mark Wahlberg was very good, if you ask me. Psychopath. Yeah, I mean, it's something you see on cable, man. You'll watch it. I'll watch it again. I'd watch it again, even though, like, you know what I'm saying? I would watch it again. All these hoity-toity. He says, a snitch is headed for trial, but the plane ride proves to be risky. Uh-oh. Marky Mark overacts, Tor Grace underacts, and Michelle Dockery Hust acts like Timu Julianne Moore in the mind-blowing dumb bit of action. Wow, man. I guess I'm not a... He said ludicrous plot and ridiculous characters. The only reason I made it to the end of the movie was I wanted to see how much worse it could get. Yo, I like that movie. I'm not cultured, man. I enjoyed that movie, man. I'm not cultured like that, man. I'm not cultured. These some hoity-toity, ritzy elites, man. They don't like they didn't like that movie. That movie, the whole movie was in a plane, a rinky-dink plane, like a raggedy plane. Like a plane you might do crop dusting with. It was the whole movie was in the plane, flying over the mountains. The entire movie was in a plane. What was the budget? I don't know if they used CGI or whatever, but it was That's crazy, man. They saying that my man Marky Mark didn't act good. That's crazy, man.
Deputy Harris, Daryl Booth. Never flew a fugitive before. But you're not really buying that, are you?
Mayday, mayday. Mayday, mayday. Mayday, mayday.
Flight risk.
Damn,
Deputy Harris?
I feel bad, man. I liked it, man. I feel like a lame, man. I like that, man. I like that movie, man. Everybody out there, hit the like button. Smash the like button, man. Smash the like button. Smash that like button, man. Take the $7 challenge in honor of my 47th birthday. 47, man. I ain't big on birthdays. I ain't real sentimental or whatnot. But the older I get, it's like, wow. 47. The older I get, the more I'm like, damn. I remember when I was younger and I would meet somebody that was 47. The way I envisioned them, I was like, damn, they old as shit. $47. Yeah, that's wisdom. Yeah. I look young. You know what I'm saying? I look young. I look young, but I'm 47. I promise you.
Well, it has been a very busy week for New York City Mayor Eric Adams. The Department of Justice earlier this week dropped corruption charges against him. And yesterday, he met with border czar Tom Homan about the next steps in fighting New York City's migrant crisis.
How'd it go? Well, Mayor Adams and Tom Homan join us right now. Guys, great to see you.
Great
Morning
to see you.
together.
Thank you so much.
Make some news. Mr. Mayor, from your perspective, how did this meeting go? Why was it necessary?
Good. I think that, and Tom could speak for himself, I think he had a real level of frustration and he was trying to figure out, hey, what's going on, Eric? What is happening? And we were able to get in the room and really articulate what are my powers, what are my authorities, and what are some of the things that we need to legislatively address that is preventing us from doing what we want to do, and that is getting dangerous people off our streets.
Right. And Tom Homan, as you know, Mayor, a couple days ago said he was angry at you in New York City because it sounds like last time you guys got together over at Gracie Mansion, you probably said some stuff. Maybe we'd like to do this and that. And I think Mr. Homan, and Tom, you could start with this. You were frustrated that he wasn't doing enough. He wasn't keeping up his end of the deal.
Well, look, you know, I've been on the network for 4 years, and I've called the mayor out many times for not stepping up when it comes to public safety threats. But I tell you, when I sat down with him, I saw the cop in him, and he really does want to do the right thing because he is a cop. He's a lifelong cop, and so he wants to help take public safety threats off the streets in New York, make New York safer. He also wants to help find these missing children. We got 300,000 missing children. That many of them are here in this city. We know that. We got to find them, and he's, you know, we'll be working with his
300,000 missing children. 300,000 missing children. How could you not be on board with that? How could you be fighting against that? Who knows what those children are going through right now? Like right now, this second. What some of those children are going through at this second, like right now, not tomorrow, right this second. Wow.
Up in him. And he really does want to do the right thing because he is a cop. He's a lifelong cop, and so he wants to help take public safety threats off the streets in New York, make New York safer. He also wants to help find these missing children. We got 300,000 missing children. That many of them are here in this city. We know that. We got to find them, and he's, we'll be working with his intelligence division, his officers, to save these children, because many of these children are in forced sex trafficking, many are in forced labor. We need to save them, and I think everybody can agree to that. I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on.
Yeah, and, people want to hijack this narrative and turn it into a political narrative where we're saying we need to have public safety. I requested the meeting. I reached out to his team and said, we want to sit down. This has been an issue I was talking about before the election, spring of 2022. You look at these quotes over and over again. We need to go after these dangerous people in our street. And now I have someone that understands that narrative, and we are fighting together to get it done.
I know Tom has been on our network so many times saying he felt like ICE's hands were tied under the last administration. You've agreed to sign an executive order to open up an ICE office at Rikers Island so that these dangerous criminals that are here illegally can be deported. Tell the folks at home.
Wow, he opening up the island. They dropped them charges, man. Yeah, I will say this, though, about Eric Adams. Everybody wanted him to resign. Remember when everybody wanted him to resign? When they was like, yo, man, all your whole staff done quit. Like his two of his police chief, they fired the police chief. He replaced him. That dude lasted like a month. Then he replaced him with another one. That dude lasted about a month. His secretary, his lieutenant, everybody in his staff is either indicted or forced to resign. And he would not resign. He hung in there. I tell you, man, he is a survivor, man. He's a survivor. Hey, man, whatever he is, whether he's a Mason, whatever he is, he survived, man.
Folks at home, because they'll hear this, they'll say, oh, they're going to come after me next. You said these are the worst of the worst. So who is at Rikers Island that will be deported? What have they done? And
you bring in 2 points where the far left has hijacked this narrative. ICE is running in our schools, ICE is running in our churches, and they are creating this frenzy. They're not in the business of just grabbing children. And we need to, just stop all this noise. Rikers Island, particularly after all the reforms, Rikers Island is now having some of the most dangerous people in our city. And by having ICE on Rikers Island, part of our gang intelligence, using our intel with NYPD correction officers, we can identify those gangs inside and outside on the street. There was no reason they were removed from Rikers Island. And as I sat down with Tom earlier, I said that we're going to look at all the legalese. I'm able to do an executive order to put them back on Rikers Island, what they should be, with part of our criminal justice apparatus.
You have a left-wing legislature. Everybody knows it. And for some reason, nobody votes in New York, so the same left-wingers get in every time. But if you had your druthers, would New York City be a sanctuary city?
What we will always be. This has always been a city of immigrants.
So you think it should be?
No. Let me explain, because this is what's getting conflated all the time. Where the sanctuary city is stated that if you're in this city and you're paying taxes, you should have access to the services. What I asked the city council to do, change the bill that was already in place and modify it, that if you are committing a crime, that we should be able to collaborate with ICE, even on civil enforcement, if you have committed a crime. That part of the bill is wrong. But everyday people who are here until they're moving to be documented, if they are going to school, working, paying taxes, then they should be able to provide police services, hospital services. Children should go to school. That is what we're saying.
You don't agree with that, Tom?
I don't agree. I think sanctuary is a sanctuary of criminals. But we walked out of the meeting yesterday, and getting back in Rikers Island is a game changer. We can get, not only we get the bad guys where they hit the street, the intelligence of how the TDA operates, where they're operating, all this intelligence they gather at Rikers Island, we'll have access to. But no, I'm strictly against sanctuary city status, just because I think sanctuaries are for criminals.
Right.
And
they're a magnet.
But the beauty here is that we're allowed to disagree.
Right.
But we do agree on the fundamental that no matter who you are, it should be saved. So that's what people are missing. My life is sitting down with people I don't agree with 100% of the time. I don't agree myself 100% of the time. But when Tom and I are in a room, we're both saying one thing. No matter who you are, if you're hurting innocent people in this city and in this country, you don't have a right to be in our country.
Well, here's the thing. You can disagree on things, but Tom has made it very clear that if a politician stands in the way of the federal government executing the law, they are going to bring charges against people like you. And in fact, we've seen the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, go after officials already. So was that part of the conversation yesterday?
No, I didn't think it needed to be. I mean, we talked very frankly about, first of all, getting to Rikers Island, step one. That's the first step. We're working on some other things that we don't really want to talk about in open air just because the city council will be putting roadblocks upon us. But the mayor and me have committed to several other things to make the city safer. Further collaboration. Again, city council, I don't like him. I think, and Mayor Adams, he's dealing with these the sanctuary law, right? That an EO can't override.
Right.
So we're working on some things to work around some of these things. So we
You're being careful the way you describe it.
I've got to be very careful because the city council, they hate me, right? The city council, they don't want immigration enforcement in this city. So we got to make sure that we collaborate in a smart way so we can get more bad guys off the street.
Yeah. That's the goal. And you said something that's very interesting. You said that elected officials who are standing in the way like me. Let's be clear. I'm not standing in the way. I'm collaborating against so many others that don't want to collaborate.
Well, now you're collaborating.
He said, well, now you're collaborating. Hey, they called them out, man. They rough. Shout out to Mr. Clockwork, man. Challenge met. Help Ock out and hit the like, fellas. Shout out, man. Thank you guys, man, for supporting the channel on my 47th birthday. Aquarius in the building. All my Aquarius, man. Everybody, all my Aquarius, type Aqua in the chat, man. Type Aqua in the chat if you an Aquarius, man. Shout out to everybody, though. Salute to all my people, man, out here. Everybody, man.
Alrighty.
Like I said, go back to spring of 2022. I was saying we need to get dangerous people off our streets.
But it wasn't happening.
Is that true? We dropped crime in this city at remarkable levels.
Did you help ICE?
In the level of enforcement for criminal actions, yes. The law says, Eric, you cannot do it for civil enforcement. But for criminal actions, yes. The police department, we have increased the number of officers assigned to our task force. Every morning we meet with our HIDA representatives at city, state, and federal level. Public safety, number one. I've always pursued this. Everyone knows that's
now,
what
Mr.
I
Mayor,
stand.
Yeah, but you know, you got them charges dropped. It's crazy. The Democrats put the charges on him for political reasons, and the Republicans dropped the charges for political reasons. All this is political. He's a goddamn he's literally a puppet. Not saying that he's not, you know, he's the mayor of New York, but he's like a rag doll, man. Soon as he says something that Biden didn't like, boom, charges. Trump said, you know, I remember it was at some dinner, some gala they had before the election, where all the big wigs go to, and Trump was on stage, and he looked at Eric Adams. He was like, "You're gonna be all right." And this was before the election, like 2 months before the election. Eric Adams was sitting, he was like, "Don't worry, you'll be all right." I said, "Oh God, wow, that's crazy." He said that right in front of everybody. He said, he said the charges against you are bogus. You're gonna be all right though. Don't worry about it. I said, damn. Sure enough, man.
what is city council, what are they saying about you wanting to change the wording where we could go after the illegals, even if they're paying taxes, if they commit a crime? Because I saw Vicky Palladino. I know she's a New York City councilwoman. She's a Republican. And then Robert Holden is a moderate Democrat.
Both of them, if you were to talk to them about that change, they would tell you we agree with Eric.
Okay.
But the overwhelming number of council members who have made it clear that they're not going to modify that law.
Why? What is their reason? Why would they protect the criminal?
Well, I think that you look at many of the policies that I put in place, put in my anti-gun union, 20,000 guns removed off the street, put in 1,000 cops back in the subway system to bring down crime. All of these initiatives that I do around public safety, it's a constant fight with them because I think many people are articulating their personal reasons and not the feeling that the city had. 78% of New Yorkers stand with me, stand with what Tom is doing about getting these dangerous individuals.
But the problem is we don't know they're dangerous till they kill. Like that guy that put this woman on fire because she fell asleep on the subway. He didn't have a criminal. He didn't have a record. But after he lit up the woman on fire, now he's a problem. He didn't belong here. Same thing with Laken Riley's killer, who was housed here, went to Georgia and killed. So even though you say, well, we want to be open to people, we don't know these guys are criminals until they act, and then it's too late. Then they become a problem. Well, but if they never got here, they wouldn't be a problem.
And that's what's good about what we're doing right now, what Tom, the border czar, has done. I've said it over and over again. We need to control our borders and not allow people to come into the country, gang members coming into the country, people who are here to commit crime. I think what we've witnessed the border czar has done, we have seen a substantial decrease in that flow.
Tom, you know the NYPD. How frustrated are they that they can't fully have your back, be able to tell them exactly where these guys are, be able to go into these raids with you?
Oh, they're frustrated. I mean, the NYPD wants to protect their streets too, and they want to enforce the law, and they want to collaborate with us. I mean, I don't think I met a single uniform in the 4 years I've been coming to the studio that sit out front. I shake everyone their hands. We had dinner with officers last night, not only from NYPD. We had dinner with officers from Newark and from Philadelphia. We had a whole table full of officers that want to do the right thing. They want to collaborate with us. But I think yesterday's meeting, I came to New York City. I wasn't going to leave out nothing.
Right.
I did the last time, and I told them I'm not leaving until I got something. And we're back into Rikers. That's huge. But we got other things we're working on. So I'm hoping. And now,
see, look, black people and white people can work together, man. Eric Adams and Tom Homan are ending racism. Salute the ridiculousness, man. Shout out to Shut Up, I Can Cook. Shut Up, I Can Cook. Your crazy ass, man. What's going on, man? Shut Up, I Can Cook, bro. There's a building. Salute to Gouch Merlot. Gouch Merlot. Happy birthday, Ock. Many blessings and much peace to you. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm telling you, man, 47. Wow. 47. A brother is 47. Everybody hit that link, man. I mean, hit the like button, man. Yeah, man. A brother is 47. Damn, it feels good to see people up on it.
And now I got him on the couch in front of millions of people. He can't back waving us now, right? So I think you're going to see things move in the right direction. I really, truly believe that.
And we don't want to give the false impression that there's no collaboration around criminal justice. We collaborated with ICE to take down a very dangerous gang member who was trying to put grenades in our city, caught with a gun. So there's real collaboration with HIDA, our criminal justice apparatus on the city, state, and federal level. We want ICE to come and be a part of that meeting as well.
Well, Mayor, let's talk a little bit about, you've been in the news all week.
Yes.
The Department of Justice dropped the criminal corruption charges against you. The U.S. attorney here in New York City, the Southern District, she quit yesterday, the acting U.S. attorney. And so did 5 members of the Department of Justice because they felt like being forced by the Department of Justice to drop the corruption charges was inappropriate and they should not have asked. And what she said was, she said, you offered to help with the migration problem and the immigration agenda in exchange for the case being dropped.
Think about that. Think about that. Think about my attorney, Alex Spira, one of the top trial attorneys in the country. Imagine him going inside saying that the only way Mayor Adams is going to assist in immigration, which I was calling for since 2022, is if you drop the charges. That's quid pro quo. That's a crime.
It took her
it took her 3 weeks to report in front of her a criminal action. Come on, this is silly.
So,
He
said that we're not saying. They said when they gave you when they dropped the charges, it says it's not because we think he's innocent. It says we think that it affects elections. It's going to affect his re-election, and we think that was wrong.
I'm sorry, who said
when
that?
the Department of Justice dropped the charges, they said it's not because they think the charges were unjust or that you're innocent, but they were doing it because with the charges they feel affected an election.
No, go deeper into what they wrote. They articulated exactly weaponization. When you looked at legroom turning into bribery because I asked for a governmental entity to do a building inspection. We need to be clear on the root of all of this. And the
Turkish embassy.
Exactly. The main justice. I learned so much through this whole process. They review cases to determine moving forward or not, as my attorney articulated. But so when you look at the heart of what I was being charged with as the mayor, I was the borough president at the time. Not say pass someone. Can you do an inspection?
Tom, you're friends with the president, obviously. You came out of retirement, twice to go work for him and not making nearly as much money. Hope your wife's okay with that. But we appreciate you because you're fighting for this country and keep it up. But you talked to the president. The president was asked if this was quid pro quo, if he had anything to do with it, and he said he didn't.
No, I believe the president. And look, the president's doing a great job. And I want to say this. Look, I worked for 6 presidents. I think President Trump's the greatest president in my lifetime. He proves it every day. Every day he proves to me why he is the greatest president in my lifetime. Border numbers are down over 90% in 3 weeks.
Think about that.
And I worked hard at it. Christy Nolan's working hard at it. The border, the chief of patrol is working hard at it. But it was President Trump's executive orders that was a game changer, right? And we already got over almost 16,000 people we arrested in the interior. That's 3 times more than Joe Biden had a year from now. But it's not enough. We got to do more. But President Trump's leadership, when you get 90% less people coming across the border, how many women aren't being raped by the cartels? How many children aren't drowning? How many women and children aren't being sex trafficked in this country? President Trump's a game changer, and every day I'll say it 100 times. Every day he proves to me why he's the greatest president of my lifetime. What he's done.
And Tom, one of the reasons, in addition to not interfering with your election coming up, one of the other things was they needed you to essentially assist Tom with the migration problem here in New York City.
And what does that look like? Because people didn't understand what that looks like. What that looks like, as I say, every morning we meet with hideouts, federal, state, and city law enforcement agencies,
which we now have a seat at the table on.
Exactly. That was another thing we.
But that's good, and that's good because, as you know, Mayor, the way this particular case is being handled right now, they can refile the charges at any time. If you don't help them, they could refile the charges. And
that's not what they said. That's not what they.
They can refile the charges.
No.
Right.
First of all, I don't get into the legalese. I have an attorney to do that, and I pay a lot for that. What we need to be clear on, if the mayor of the city of New York is unable to collaborate, deal with intelligence information, sit down with my state and federal agencies and sit down to coordinate for public safety, we're still under the terrorist threat. We still have illegal gangs in our community that's bringing about destruction that ICE is attempting to weed out. If I can't coordinate that, that's a public safety issue, and we should put public safety first.
Governor Hochul said last night with Rachel Maddow that she would consider removing you. How would you feel about that?
She has her role, I have my role. And throughout this entire ordeal, which I think no American should have to go through, the torment of 15 months that my family and I had to endure for something I didn't do. I didn't do anything wrong. Throughout the entire ordeal, I said one thing: my attorney will handle the legal part. I'm going to handle running the city. We return jobs to our city. Our city is getting safer. We're building housing. I think that this is a great American narrative where I stood focused on what I was elected to do.
I want you to address the
Look, Governor Hochul is an embarrassment position she holds. She stands on media after someone's burned alive on a subway. She stands in front of TV camera and says, I think criminal aliens should be removed too. But she's got the green light law. The men and women of ICE and Border Patrol, when they pull a vehicle over, law enforcement, you're in law enforcement your whole career. What's the first thing you would do? You run the license plate number. Are these wanted? Is there a warrant for these people? Who are they? Are they dangerous? Is that car stolen? All these things, right? Do you know ICE and CBP can't run DMV data on New York State license plate? So they're pulling over people not even know who the hell they are.
Is that the green light law?
The green light law. So she, on one point, she's saying, well, I think criminals should be removed too, but then she locks us out of DMV data. That'd be like us locking officers out of the NCIC, the Fed zone. Would we do that? No, because officer safety is paramount. She's putting the men and women at ICE at risk every day. The job's already dangerous. So Governor Hochul, she needs to be removed. Everybody needs to be removed, needs to be her.
Wow. Salute to Shut Up While I Cook. She says, sir, NYC is unlivable because black women and Dems keep voting for handouts, crime, and misery. I prayed all night for a Trump win. Yes, yes, yes. Facts. Wow. Facts. If you want to come up, the link is in the description box. Breaking news, guys. Breaking news. Fishermen in the building. Breaking news, man. Breaking news.
Aaron Kuzminski was a 23-year-old immigrant who'd come to London years earlier from Poland. His occupation? Can't make it up. Barber. Person of interest was not a term back then, but it really would have applied because police looked at Kuzminski. They just never had enough evidence to arrest him. They really never had much evidence, period. Fingerprints weren't even an acceptable crime-fighting tool in Britain until almost a decade later. That is how cold this case is. But that uncertainty about Aaron Kuzminski did not stop Madame Tussauds from immortalizing him in wax and including him in the Jack the Ripper Chamber of Horrors. But beyond that, and certainly before that, there was nothing definitively tying him to the Ripper until now. And what is that evidence, you ask? I thought you would. It seems the Ripper's fourth victim, Catherine Eddowes, was wearing a shawl the night that she and one other victim were killed just minutes apart, killed and mutilated. The shawl was bloodstained, of course, and somehow in 2007 it was put up for auction. The winning bidder was an author and Jack the Ripper scholar named Russell Edwards, and Edwards went right to work testing the century-old shawl for DNA. And the results? A 100% match to Aaron Kuzminski.
Kuzminski, you know where that name comes from, Fisherman?
I heard he was Juice Crew.
Yeah, he's a goddamn crew member, man. An immigrant crew member. Wow. Wow. It says the Jews were the first one to be blamed. To blame a Jewish foreigner would have been the most convenient excuse. It says the Jack the Ripper case remains unsolved. So because he's Jewish and it's anti-Semitic to blame him for a crime. Wow.
I mean, to them, it's not a crime to kill a non-Jew, if according to their religious text.
Wow. Wow. Aaron Kuzminski was a devout believer in the Talmud. Any woman or child among the Goyim that tempts a Jewish man into raping them should be executed. That's in the Goyim. So this is the Talmud. It says, if by contrast a Jewish man enters into relations with a Gentile woman, when he does so intentionally, she should be executed. She is executed because she caused a Jew to be involved with an unseemly transgression. whether the Gentile woman was a minor of 3 years of age or an adult, whether she was single or married. Yikes. That's terrifying. Right?
Yeah, people don't really understand the depths of the Jewish religion at all. Like exactly what their text says and the fact that lots of them take it serious and they believe it.
Oh yeah. I believe they take that serious, man. All those guys there with those hats, wear all black, the Orthodox Jews, I bet they believe that shit. Salute to Sam I Am. He says, happy birthday. I salute to the nation. Shout out to my Aquarius brothers and sisters. Aquarius in the building. Yeah, man. Shout out to all the Aquarius out there, man. Salute to Sam I Am, man.
The Talmud was written many hundreds of years after the Torah, and it's extensive series of books that's delves into various moral dilemmas, and it's all very skewed pro-Jew in how they interpret things and outcomes, like the one they're talking about here.
Wow. It's terrifying. That's terrifying. It says Jews are just teaching what the Bible teaches. It said in Talmudic Tricate Gittin 57a, there's a narrative involving Onkelos, a convert to Judaism who uses necromancy to summon various figures from the afterlife. In this story, when Onkelos summons Yeshua the Nazarene, Yeshu describes his punishment in the afterlife as being immersed in boiling excrement. Is Yeshu Jesus? Yeah, Yeshu is Nazarene. Is that Jesus?
Yeah. They in the Talmud it describes Jesus as, burning and shit.
Jesus Christ.
That's why I say Christianity is a very confused belief system about what exactly it is that they think they're signing up for when aligning themselves with Judaism. They don't actually understand it.
What are they signing up for?
They're signing up to help people that hate them and that think that they are destined to be Jewish slaves. And Jews think Christians are idolaters. And in Talmudic Judaism, idolaters ultimately deserve death, usually through beheading. They're just, the Christian populace is just useful idiots when they align themselves with being pro-Judaism and pro-Jews.
Mm. Wow. It said, if by contrast, the Jewish men, okay, that's it. It says, wow. Jeez. Yikes.
That
Not
guy's
the
a
intelligent
G-screw.
design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design and the intelligent design of our clouds. The IBM cloud, the Microsoft cloud, these are the new driving forces of evolution. People will literally be part of a network. All the bodies, all the brains would be connected together to a network, and you won't be able to survive if you're disconnected from the net. Not the intelligent design of...
Jeez. Wow. Yeah. Fucking Jack the Ripper was a goddamn juice crew, man. Ain't that a son of a jeez. Jesus. Oh, what we got here? Shout out to what's happening, man. What's cracking?
Yo, happy birthday, homie. You know where that's from?
Yeah, happy birthday, Art.
Thank you, thank you.
You know where that's
Thank
from,
you.
Mike? Happy
No.
birthday, homie. Don't be a menace. In the beginning.
Oh, homie. Oh, okay. I can't. Oh, yeah. Don't be a menace. Yeah. Yeah, that was a funny movie, man. Golly, man. Yeah, man. Salute. 47.
Man, that's crazy. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. 47.
I'm telling you, 47. Eesh.
Don't blink,
Shout
right?
out. Huh?
Don't
What's
blink,
that?
you might miss it.
I'm telling you. Mr. Clockwork says if they crossed illegally, they're illegal. Facts. Without a doubt, man. Let's see.
Yeah, Eric Adams is completely pointless at this point. Like he's just there. He doesn't serve any
Yeah,
purpose.
it's almost hilarious how
For real.
right fisherman is about that.
Yeah, they neutered him, but he got
He's
to
like
keep
a
his job.
he's like a
What?
hostage almost. He look like a
Yeah, but
hostage
he wants
almost.
to. He wants to be a hostage. He wants to keep his job. He could have resigned.
Yeah,
He
he's
didn't
still
Look,
drawing
resign.
a paycheck.
Question is,
look,
what would his replacement look like?
Right. They would be worse. They wouldn't be an ex-cop. I can tell you that much.
look, the dams did him dirty, that's for sure.
Yeah, and Trump saved him. So look, when you mad New York City, that's a status. He don't want to lose that status. He been a career politician in New York City. He made it to the mayor.
Yeah. Who wants that garbage, man? I'll leave that shit to the Jews crew. Fuck it. It's a hopeless shithole anyways.
Jaime Town.
But here we have new information on the Mooresville High School student arrested for allegedly planning to shoot up the school today on this Valentine's Day.
The 18-year-old was in court for the first time this afternoon. Fox 59's Claire Curry joins us live from outside the Morgan County Courthouse. Claire?
That's right. 18-year-old Trinity Shockley was seen in court via Zoom today for her alleged plans to kill her fellow classmates in a mass
Trinity
shooting that
Shockley.
would
Oh
have
God, is this a goddamn transgender? That just sounds like a transgender name, Trinity Shockley.
taken place today. Now she's being charged with conspiracy to commit murder, intimidation, and conspiracy
Yeah, fucking transgender. They love shooting up schools, man.
Have you heard allegedly there's some sort of like working transgender like murder group where they're all connected to each other?
Yeah.
They've been actively getting, picked off and arrested, and they actually know each other, and there's dialogue amongst them.
That black kid who was who shot up, he tried to shoot up the school in I think it was in Tennessee a couple of months ago. We did the story on him, and he was in all them groups where they online and shit with his Soul Jacks and shit, and all these different groups, online groups that these young people got. I had no idea any of that stuff existed. But yeah,
like talk about actual domestic terrorism.
These
tranny death cults.
Yeah, they're dangerous, man.
Can you imagine trying to explain that to the founding fathers back in the day with a time machine? Like, look, this is what happens. Like,
Yeah, man, that's a terrible way to go. Like getting deleted by a tranny. Man, that was
I'm telling you, man. Wow, and that's one ugly tranny, man.
Yeah, we should recruit illegals to penetrate these groups, and if they give us good intel, they can earn their citizenship.
They'll probably do it for cheap too, you know.
They'll do it for a 6.
Send a bunch of carpenters and wigs to the meeting.
They'll do it for 18 of Corona.
Yeah, definitely. Shit. God dang.
With conspiracy to commit murder, intimidation, and conspiracy to commit intimidation. Court documents detail how Shockley had planned for over a year to execute the mass killing. According to court documents, she had communicated to others about her desires to gun down students at lunch using an AR-15. During the investigation, police discovered Shockley had kept photos of known mass shooters on her bedroom walls. An anonymous tip sent to the FBI on Tuesday allowed for law enforcement to intervene before it was too late.
We can't say whether this plot and plan would have been carried out without the intervention of the police, but we can say with certainty that there was no mass shooting today at Mooresville High School, and our community is forever grateful.
Shockley was arrested Wednesday and denied her plans to law enforcement. At the hearing today, Shockley was given a court-appointed attorney, and she is being held without bond until her hearing this upcoming Tuesday, February 18th. A jury trial is scheduled for June 10th. Coming up later this evening, I'll have more from experts on the warning signs Shockley showed that should have set off alarms. Live in Martinsville, Claire Curry, Fox 59.
Wow. That's one ugly fucking tranny, man.
Yeah. Yo, man, I would be I'd be a terrible public defender. Like, I just can't find it in myself to like care about like these pedophiles and great, you know what I mean? All these debaucherous
Yeah.
people. I can't defend them. The fuck?
Yeah, you're not a lawyer. Lawyers are different.
Shockley had
Fucking
planned
guy.
for
God damn it.
The Sandy Hook shooting back in 2012. Hockley released a statement about the system preventing another school shooting. She said in part, quote, "This story illustrates the life-saving impact of recognizing warning signs, taking it seriously, and acting immediately to get help. It only takes one person to say something for lives to be saved. Threats are never a joke." Meanwhile, Sandy Hook Promise says it's averted at least 17 credible planned school shooting attacks since that system was launched.
The story is still developing. As you know, we can see all the updates as we speak on our website at fox59.com. First at 4, we now take you to Johnson County.
Wow. Wow.
At 4, here we have
Transgenders
it has
out
been
here.
a very
And we not gonna hear nothing. We not gonna hear nothing about that story again, man. That story that is officially over. Trinity Shockley. Let's see what they're saying about him online. What's his name? Trinity Shockley. This fucking guy, man.
Hey, whoa. Girl,
Honestly, I don't fucking know.
You don't know?
I can't tell you what the original equipment is.
I can tell by the facial structure. The brow ridge, the forehead, the chin. You can tell it's a man. It says more disturbing details emerged from the police affidavit of would-be trans school shooter Trinity Shockley. She identified as transgender male, expressed a desire to kill others, and was in love with Parkland shooter Nicholas Cruz. This uptick in trans violence is very alarming. So they say he's transgender male.
So it's a girl that had a crush on a boy. Like, what the fuck is the deal? Just mentally ill psycho.
That's one ugly fucking yikes. That's one ugly fucking
girl. Yeah, she's
girl,
like,
man.
it's very androgynous looking.
Yeah, they getting cracking. Oh wow. It says Trinity Shockley poses with members of the Mooresville Police Department in October 2022. This was following a fundraiser to help cover her medical expenses after being hit by a drunk driver. Yo. It's definitely a girl. Yeah, that's definitely a girl. Yikes. I mean, what can you say, man? Obviously, it's leaving y'all speechless, man. This stuff leaves you speechless, man. What can you say?
Look,
Throw her off a building.
look, Chief, and I hate to be a broken record about it, but yet again, once again, the apparatus of pigs prevented this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't need them though. We don't need these pigs.
Man.
Not everybody can be saved. Not everybody's going to be rational and contribute to society in a productive way, and that's okay. It's okay to get rid of these people.
Yeah. Definitely. Shout out to Eric S. Sock Nation Hall of Famer coming through once again. Take the $7 challenge for my birthday, man. It's my birthday, yo. 47. Take the $7 challenge. Ooh.
Yo, can you imagine how much better society would be if what Fisherman just said was like the rule, not the exception?
Throw him off of a building?
No, like, look, everyone can't come with us. Not everyone can be saved. Some people, they just need to go, and that's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not. It's just it's part of. It's like the law of nature. Kind
Yeah,
of
there's
like.
no species where that's not the case.
Yeah. Yep. Wow.
Like
And there was
if
no.
the pride of lions walks up on a tar pit and one of them thinks it's a swimming pool, like that's how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't start being like this till like 5 minutes ago as a race, as a human race though. It's not like, wow, is this the same girl? This says Michael Simpson made an initial court appearance. This is 2022 this morning on operating with while intoxicated charges causing seriously bodily injury. His car struck 15-year-old Trinity Shockley on September 6th as she crossed the street to get onto the school bus in Mooresville. Her injuries include arm, leg, and skull fractures. Maybe he's responsible. Maybe he knocked the shit out of her and knocked some screws loose or something. Wow.
Wow, damn, that's actually not a bad point. Interesting. Well, even then, say that is the case, right? And she went through what she did. That shit don't even matter anymore. What happened to her in the past, I don't think matters anymore. What is
Hell
it?
nah.
Well, yeah, what does it
Everybody's
matter
been
to the
through something.
victims? Right. What does it matter to the
Yeah.
what do it matter to loved ones?
Everybody's been through something, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's been through something. Like she ain't the only person that been through something. He, whatever the fuck. It ain't the only person who's been through something. Damn. Oh my God. Thank God she didn't get behind that helicopter like that other fucking trans motherfucker.
Like I said, time and time again, man, that whole shit is just mental illness, man.
That's it. Autogynephilia. Most of the time it's autogynephilia, which means that they get off by other people treating them like their girl.
Yeah.
So when we play along, we actually feed into their little game. It's like a little game for them. We gotta reject that shit. Go play another game. Go somewhere else.
Well, take your meds.
Yeah. Damn. That's crazy. Trinity Shockley. Salute to Shut Up, I Can Cook, man. She says, Yoruba men are exceptional black men. I'm snoozing off as I support black men. Happy B-Day. Shout out to Shut Up, I Can Cook. Yeah, man. Yoruba men are exceptional black men. You're exactly right. That's true. Can't argue with you there, man. Let's see what else is going on. God damn.
I wish we would all support black men more. You know?
And a crime tracker alert now. An Indianapolis mother now facing charges of child neglect. That's after her 9-month-old daughter overdosed on fentanyl this week.
As Fox 59's Jesse Wells explains, emergency crews had to revive that child multiple times.
Jeez.
According to court records, police were first called here to the scene by the victim's mother, who reported the child being unresponsive. Luckily, paramedics were able to revive that little girl, but the case still serves as an important warning for drug users everywhere. Using Narcan, quick-thinking paramedics revived a 9-month-old girl who overdosed on fentanyl inside this Southside home Tuesday morning. After being taken to Riley Hospital, the girl again became unresponsive, and nurses used Narcan to revive the child a second time. The young girl survived, but her 32-year-old mother, Maria Luisa Ruiz, is now charged with neglect of a dependent.
If you're breaking the law.
So can we send her back? And the 9-month-old is fucked up. I'd hate to send the 9-month-old back across the border with her.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah, she got to go.
But I mean, you can't choose your parents, right?
Yep. Good luck.
Wow. Your parents are your parents, man.
With neglect of a
That's your
dependent.
family.
Law and you're using drugs in the first place, and you have young people and young kids around, you have to make sure you're not leaving them out where a kid could get it.
While the DEA didn't investigate the case, Assistant Special Agent in Charge Mike Gannon reminds everyone that just a tiny amount of fentanyl, enough to fit on the tip of a pencil, can be deadly. Fentanyl is also often added to other drugs, leading to accidental overdoses.
There's never been a more dangerous time in our country to use drugs than now. So people have to really understand the severity of using drugs in today's day and age, how dangerous it is.
When police searched the suspect's home, they did find multiple syringes and spoons with drug residue. According to this affidavit, Ruiz also used fentanyl when she was pregnant because her daughter tested positive for fentanyl at birth.
Yikes.
As a result, the Department of Child Services took custody of the young girl and her twin sibling before recently granting Ruiz unsupervised overnight visits. Ruiz allegedly told police she'd been sober for 6 months.
This was on an unsupervised overnight visit.
How, Sway? How?
I'm telling you, man. Jesus Christ.
6 months, but recently relapsed. She insisted she didn't leave drugs laying around her home on purpose, and the victim ingesting the drugs was simply an accident. Finally, the suspect was given a $15,000 recognizance bond and will be placed on GPS monitoring pending
Oh my
trial.
God, she's out again.
Jesse Wells.
Jesus Christ. It gets an ankle monitor. So the baby tested positive for fentanyl at birth, which should have been a crime in itself. Then the baby ODs, has to be revived twice on a fucking unsupervised overnight visit. So they just said, all right, we'll let you keep the baby overnight for one night since you've been good for a little while. And the baby overdosed during that night. And now she's back out on the street again. Where's the kid?
The kid could be the next LeBron James of the crack baby basketball league.
That kid, you mean the crack baby soccer league?
Yeah, the Telemundo Football de Copa.
Maybe perhaps about the boxing league, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That's Aztec, man. Azteca, man. Jesus Christ, woman.
She insisted she didn't leave drugs laying around her home on purpose, and the victim ingesting the drugs was simply an accident. Finally, the suspect was given a $15,000 recognizance bond and will be placed on GPS monitoring pending trial. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
Wicked could fix her.
Don't do drugs.
For La Raza, we could save her.
I mean, fishermen, you gliders are the pros on drug abuse. You
No,
tell
I'm
me
just
how to
saying
fix
you
them.
could help her.
Let me know. Help me help her, fisherman. Help me help her.
Just let her move in your house and feed her. You know,
Damn.
Beat her like a piñata.
yeah. Bust a couple Modelos over her head.
Damn. Shoot the Eric S, man. Malik Quelly says, "Happy birthday, young blood. Don't spend it all in one place." Young blood. Man, that motherfucker must be like 50 something.
60 something.
Yeah, I can't believe you're 32 years older than me.
Yeah, right. Man, let's see, man. They said it was a shooting at the Philadelphia parade
Wasn't there a shooting at the Chiefs parade where they killed an Umbrella as well?
last year.
Where they killed innocent Umbrella. Think
Yeah,
about that. Man, we
yeah.
got a lot
Yeah,
of catching up to do to y'all, Chief. We'll
it was
get there
total
though.
chaos in the city today.
Yeah, I'm
In Philly?
sure.
Wait, why you say that though?
What, as far as chaos,
Yeah.
just trying to move around because they
That all
rerouted
the
traffic, shut
Oh,
everything
that
down.
way.
Yeah.
I thought you meant the brothers being the brothers or something. Bang bang.
I'm sure a lot of shit got stolen.
Oh
No,
yeah,
it wasn't a riot or anything.
Look, let's be honest, like let's be a buck right now. If nobody got shot at this parade, that'd be surprising in and of itself.
yeah. I'm looking for it. I don't see it. Somebody said that there was a shooting. Let me see.
I wonder if they hit their target. I doubt it.
Everyone hit the like button, man. Take the $7 challenge. I turned 47 today.
The $4.70 challenge or the $47 challenge.
No, I just take the $7 challenge or the $47 challenge. Yeah, that'll work.
It was
Let's
two
see.
women shot. Says two women shot near the Eagles parade.
Yup, sounds about right.
Try Fox 29.
Two innocent women. We know who did this one. Case
Here it
closed.
goes.
Fuck that.
Yo, where the some people at? I see no some people.
Philly fans are so fucking whack, man. Like I hate the
Me
fucking Eagles.
too. Man, fuck Philly fans. I hate them. The clips of them being fucking disrespectful. Hate those motherfuckers, man. I thought Raiders fans sucked until I saw Philly fans.
Nah, Philly
Yeah, it was
Eagles
more
fans.
gliders than anything that I saw today. Because I was up moving about early this morning. I mean, they were getting on they were getting on the L subway and everything, literally bottles in hand, passing out cups, drinking, smoking
Yeah.
weed. It was just crazy. All on the trains.
Putting up dope. A
Yep,
little
that too.
fancy.
Well, that was the crackhead, the crackheads and the dope addicts.
I wonder how they celebrated in Kingston. You know what I mean? Maybe they got it in today.
It's gonna say when your cousin got your Eagles player to take a shot. Okay, I'm doing a shot, a drink. Searching for a suspect in a gray Eagles.
That's really
wish
helpful.
them luck.
No,
Yeah,
this
right.
is this is. I was at this park. This is that park near
Yeah, Love
Marketplace, right?
Park. Yeah, Love
Near
Park.
Market, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's called Love Park.
yeah. I've been there. I walked through there when I was in Philly last time. Okay,
I think it's hilarious that they call Philly the city of love. Yeah, okay.
brotherly love.
Right. Even funnier.
City of brotherly love, man. Yeah,
To me,
man. That's
Philadelphia
crazy.
is like the New Orleans of the Northeast.
Yeah, I can see that.
It ain't really no reason to go to Philly though. New Orleans is a tourist attraction. There's no reason to go to Philly. Like,
It's not. It's
really.
not.
I went to see the Liberty Bell. I didn't go to see it, but when I went to Philly like maybe like 20 years ago, I saw I told the girl I was with, I was like, yeah, let's go see the Liberty Bell. Man, I was so fucking underwhelmed. I was like, that's it. Yo, that shit is like the wackest tourist
Yeah.
attraction ever. You would think that shit would be like as big as a house, the way they talk
Yeah.
about it. That shit is literally like as big as a fucking microwave or some shit. Like, that shit is tiny and it got a
Yeah.
crack in it. It's like, yo, what the fuck, man? This
Well,
is
there's
the
history
wackest shit
behind
ever.
there's history behind that damn bell. You know what though? I will say this though, as far as Philly goes, right? I find the Sunman shootouts from Philly impressive. Like they're just like it's mind-boggling how reckless they are. You know, like because when all of the ones that I've seen from Philly, like, it's like a bunch of Sunman shooting at each other and a bunch of houses in the background, and it's like, yo,
Because everything is the streets there are so small. It was not
Yeah,
built
they
for
man narrow.
cars. It was built for horse and
yeah,
buggies and some shit.
right. Do you remember the one shootout where the Sunman went under the car and the other one didn't, and they ran up and finished them off, but the one that went
Yeah,
under the car didn't? That one
yeah,
was crazy. I
yeah.
wonder
It
what the
was.
Sunman that went under the car is doing right now. You know, I
He
wonder what
probably
he's up to
dead.
right now.
He might be dead.
True.
This is great. There, do you know they're building the Barack Hussein Obama presidential library? The presidential library. These things, I don't even know what they are. They're museums, right? They call it a library so that you don't get the idea that these narcissists are building a museum to themselves.
Oh, pause it real
But that's
quick.
pretty much what they are. You go to the
Let me tell you a quick funny ass story about the Obama Library that came out a week ago. So the Obama Library Act is
I
doing
think
like
that's what
this
he about
deep.
to tell us. I think he might be about to tell us what you
Oh,
about to
okay,
tell us.
my fault. I don't think he is,
You go to the
but
Reagan one, you know, they got an old plane in there and some of his desk, a chair or something. I don't know. It's a museum. So Barack Obama's museum to himself is going to be in Chicago because, you know, he's down with Chicago and came from the streets, yo. So they're building it and, you know,
whole block.
you can't have your first black president and have the first black president library and have it built by some cracker motherfuckers. So they made sure that everyone involved with the Barack Obama Presidential Library, all the contractors and architects, construction workers, everyone's got to be black. And how well do you think that's going? First, the design of it is, I don't know what the fuck this is. It looks terrible. It's some kind of dystopian government building like 1984 Ministry of Information looking Soviet bloc thing.
Yo, that's crazy right there. That sucks.
Shit look like a
That's
prison.
Yeah,
Right.
it's pretty damn bland.
Black people not good at stuff like that because they had some black people like try to build. They had the African American Museum in DC, and that didn't turn out too well.
Yeah, that shit whack. I've been there twice.
Yeah,
It's whack.
me too. I know it's wick whack. I've been there several times. Then they had what else did they have? They had something else down there that they had the black people build. That shit was garbage.
You know what? I like it. I think it looks great.
A lot of cement thing. A lot of cement. That's a lot of king concrete. They sometimes I even make myself laugh. Yes, king concrete. And I don't know what this is. Don't they usually look at buildings and go, well, the arch represents the meeting of two like this just looks like a factory. So they're putting this together, and then there's a problem. There's a problem. It seems the concrete company, King Concrete, I'm very proud of that one today. Thank you, kids. The concrete company it was told that their work was subpar. And this is literally the foundation. This is the first thing that really happens after the design aspect. You start laying down forms and rebar and pouring concrete, especially in a structure like that. It's like made of concrete, the whole thing. So they were told their work wasn't good. So what did they do? They're turning around. They're suing. They're suing the company that told them that their work isn't good enough. So they wound up getting some receipts. Let's see some of the concrete work. Whoops. If you have an entire structure that's made of concrete, you don't want cracks.
Damn.
Yeah, this is embarrassing.
Yeah,
Man. I'm
that's
embarrassed. I'm hanging my head.
horrible.
I gotta put my hood on, man. This is
Yo, that's the one that I was talking about. Yo, I'm not lying to you, bro. And on Burrito at Home Depot, that's never did concrete before, could do a better job than this.
Oh, without a doubt. If they would have pulled up on Home Depot, they would have gotten the job done. It'd be done already. Shit would have been done.
Hey, I
Shit.
thought black didn't crack.
Black
That was a
concrete
good
does
one.
crack.
Shit, they crack inside. Motherfuckers, they ain't taking care of their body. They might look good on the outside, but they cracking on the inside. High blood pressure, diabetes.
Hypertension.
I could beat diabetes.
Mm.
If you have an entire structure that's made of concrete, you don't want cracks like this. The black run and owned company that did this concrete work decided that they were going to redo some of the code when it came to pouring concrete. And they decided that they were going to space out the rebar a little more than was asked for in the code.
What? How do you change the code?
Yeah, I mean, building construction's, very complicated, and there's just too many rules for sons to keep up with something like this.
Typical nigga shit.
You know, this here is why Dr. Umar can't get that school built.
Yeah.
If you're trying to do something, man, this is why, Chief.
No, actually the school is already built. It's an old building he's taking over. That's his hustle. It's a bunch of bull.
I mean, last I heard, he was having like HVAC issues, X, Y, and Z. Look, listen.
That's been a problem for the past 5 years, bro.
He been building that school since I've been
10 years.
Yeah, it's been longer than that. When he
You know what I'm
first
saying?
said
As
he
far as
needed,
the HVAC shit became an issue within the past 7 to 5 years.
that shit crazy, man. This is embarrassing, man. It's embarrassing, man. I ain't even no pro-black. I'm a cool. I'm a goddamn Uncle Tom, and I'm embarrassed, man.
The code, and they were going to use other types of concrete as opposed to the one that was needed as per the code. So they are not only do they get thrown off the job and disgraced and called out for the shit that they are, they then, instead of going, oh my God, we got to get our shit together, we suck, they decide to sue for $40 million because of racism. They say they're thrown off the job because of racism. There you go. There you go.
The all-black contractors for the Obama Museum say they got kicked off because of racism. Wow.
I mean, it's literally like you could like South Park couldn't write this shit.
For real.
Look, I just hope Obama learns a lesson from this one.
I would never hire a black person to do nothing like that. Maybe cut my hair. Even that is 50-50.
He should have got a bunch of
lineup
he should have got a fag construction company.
Oh God. That would have
Should have
done
just
better.
got the mob to do it.
Yeah,
Chicago,
they
come
would
on.
make sure it was pretty.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah, see, homosexuals, you would have different races. It wouldn't just be all blacks. So yeah, the homosexual crew would have done a better job.
They would be playing Spanish YMCA on the job site.
Yo,
this is crazy, man. This is embarrassing, man.
Here's Big Mike throwing the biggest shovel of dirt. Look at that. What a man. Mike is all fucking man. Well, anyway, there you go. That's another moment of black excellence for Black History Month. They can't even mix. First of all, everyone knows you're going to do concrete work. You better get some Italians on the job. That's just what Italians do. They are insane when it comes to concrete. Portuguese, too. They're amazing. But that's where your concrete comes from. Italians. You don't get a bunch of fucking Moulignans pouring fucking concrete.
They pour the concrete.
You know, I was about to say that. I'm pretty sure they're gonna go with white guys next. They don't have a choice but to use gliders, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I mean, the damn thing's being paid for by glider money. You know that.
Jeez.
I wish it would just collapse. That would be even funnier.
Now that would be embarrassing.
Aki ought to drive on over there and tell him to shape up.
I wouldn't park anywhere. I wouldn't park in 2 blocks of that building, man.
Yeah, you have to get a megaphone, yell down the street.
Fuck that.
Fix your shit. I'm embarrassed.
The building is not sturdy, man.
That's where Dr. Umar can put his school in that building.
Word.
Yeah.
Well,
Maybe
tonight
they
we
need
have
to
new
hit up
video
Benjamin
showing the
Banneker.
chaotic scene of a mass shooting in New Albany. It happened on February 4th at the KDC-1 building on Smiths Mill Road North. Police say 2 people died and 4 people were injured. Tonight, New Albany police have released the body camera video showing what police were facing when they arrived on the scene.
Is that KDC?
At 10:22 p.m. on February 4th, New Albany police officers start heading toward the KDC-1 building on a call of an active shooter. Officers arrive at 10:26 and immediately draw their guns and ask questions.
Put your hands in the car right now. Hey, do we have a suspect shooting at all? No.
Officers start talking to employees and searching the perimeter for the suspect. At 11:08, one of the officers says she found one of the guns.
They wrestled the gun away from one of the suspects. They both got shot. I'm going to bring this over to Sarge.
Officers spend 5 hours outside before deciding to enter the KDC-1 building just before 4 a.m.
Police department.
Officers spend the next 40 minutes clearing the building. The suspect ended up being long gone, having taken a rideshare away from the building before police arrived.
Now, that suspect, Bruce Foster III, was arrested 12 hours after the shooting at an apartment complex in the Short North that he had rented. He is charged with aggravated murder. Police called this a targeted attack, but have not said what his motive may have been. A judge granted his defense attorney's request for a mental competency evaluation before his preliminary hearing. No new court date has been scheduled.
This?
Jesus Christ. Yikes. Yikes. Oh my God.
New details tonight in the shooting death of Winston Smith. New cell phone video released today shows Smith's final moments as a U.S. Marshal tried to arrest him. Tonight, Jessica Hart takes us through the video, and we want to warn you, it is disturbing.
A year after the murder of George Floyd, another African-American man was killed by law enforcement. A man who recorded his final moments.
Winston, please let them take you. Like, what the f?
Hey. This is Winston Smith.
Open the door, Winston, babe. Please, open the door.
It's a glider.
Nora Nascar is in the passenger seat. The two were on a date in 2021 when U.S. Marshals boxed in the car in a parking garage.
Talk about a fucking first date. This is a, this is their first date.
This is the culture experience.
Right.
Yo, his hair looks like that sour spaghetti candy.
Yo, but did you hear how this bitch introduced the story though? She invoked fentanyl Floyd's name, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like another brother killed by the cops, and then in the background you hear this other bitch just pretty much saying stop resisting. And here comes his son, man, resisting.
This your first date? Like, think about it, man. Think about it, man. You fucking. We did see a story like that in Texas where the fucking guy, black dude, was dating, I think she was like Filipino or something. And she brought her friends over to the house to see him. It was like 4 of her girlfriends over there. That nigga killed her in front of all of them. You remember that? That was in Houston or somewhere.
Yeah, she's a teacher.
Yeah, exactly.
He was a teacher and he was like a hardened felon.
Yeah.
She brought that motherfucker to the girls' party. deleted her in front of everybody.
And that was like their first date. They had like been talking for a while, but that was like the first time he had come over. Insane, man. Like, yo, fuck.
By law enforcement. A man who recorded his final moments.
Winston, please let them take you. Like, what the f?
Hey. This is Winston Smith.
Open the door, Winston, babe. Please, open the door.
Just shoot.
Nora Nascar is in the passenger seat. The two were on a date in 2021 when U.S.
She
Marshals
sound like a
boxed
white girl too. She don't sound like no black girl.
Car in a parking garage.
For sure.
Smith was wanted on a warrant, and marshals attempted to make an arrest. This is the first time we're seeing and hearing what happened.
Oh!
Glass shards fly as officers strike the glass. A sound the Hennepin County Attorney's Office says could easily be mistaken as gunshots. Smith reaches for a gun. We're not showing the rest of the video, but there were
and it took them 3-4 years to clear the cop. Cop been sweating bullets for 4 years. Wow.
This is like every liberal white woman's dream, though.
Yo, is this why people thank the pigs for their service? Like, because they know that they're suckers. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for your service, sucker.
Jeez.
There were multiple gunshots. According to a source close to the investigation, it took the BCA 3 years to unlock the phone. The source says Mark Lanterman, a forensic expert, recovered the video more than a year ago as a part of a civil case. A year later, the BCA finally opened it. In the days following Smith's death, protests erupted in Uptown.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, good Lord.
It's literally like the enemies of civilization.
I mean, you gotta love some people, man. You gotta love them.
And the woman survived, right? Like she told everybody what happened, right?
Hopefully not.
It don't matter. It wouldn't matter. I mean,
That
it's her.
I know, but
that
fuck.
look, that bitch probably thinks the cops are wrong.
Yeah,
They ain't have to
exactly.
shoot him or something.
That was her first date, man. She probably was digging that guy, man. She was already calling him babe. Salute to Michael, man. He says, "Who would you rather have build your house? An all-son company or an all-woman? You are not allowed to supervise. All son or all woman."
Damn, that's a good
That's
one.
a
That's
tough
a
Like
good one, man.
either way, I'm getting crushed by my house.
Jeez,
You
that's a
know what,
tough
I think I'm gonna go with the woman, bro. I think I'm gonna go with the woman.
I honestly think I would too. Like I'm not even shitting. I honestly kind of leaning that way.
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean,
they rather be left in a bear with left in the woods with the bear versus a man. So they can probably do that.
I'm telling you, man. I don't know, man. That the fact that you got to even think about it is bad. Um, fuck. Damn, that's a rough one. That's a hell of a question, man. Salute to you, man. I'm stumped.
Yeah,
A
that's
year
like
later, people were still
a turd and a
questioning if the
douchebag.
shooting was
Like
justified
they
because the
both suck.
marshals weren't wearing body cameras.
We've been struggling this whole year with ourselves because
You've been
Yes,
struggling
you have.
here to find a hairdresser. What the fuck, man? These niggas are fucking annoying, man. And
In
look at
Uptown,
fucking Drew Carey here standing by the fucking flames. There's a bunch of fucking white liberals out there.
death protests erupted in Uptown. A year later, people were still questioning if the shooting was justified because the marshals weren't wearing body cameras.
we've been struggling this whole year with ourselves because
We're terrible
we have
people.
no answers.
After reviewing the video, the Hennepin County Attorney's
We
Office
can't
said
help
today in a
ourselves.
release their conduct was legal. However, the view provided by the video warrants a conversation about opportunities for policy change, training, and use of
They'll
de-escalation techniques
change the
that could be employed.
policy because of this. Wow. They're gonna, yeah. This is why I tell you, like, they never had great cities. Blacks never had nothing.
Yeah.
They never had no great institutions. And I'm not talking about like marriage and shit. Like I'm talking about like any great institutions, any great fucking councils, city assemblies.
Civil society, even.
Yeah, because if you're willing to fucking change some shit over this, you'll change shit. Your shit will be chaos. Your systems will be
Yeah.
chaos if you're this
'Cause
reactive.
in a logical world, dog, the pigs that were there would get an award, and everybody will move the fuck on. Good riddance, you know.
Telling you, man. Thanks.
Be employed in the hope of avoiding the outcome observed here, namely a person in distress resorting to violence. In Minneapolis, Jessica Hart, KARE 11 News.
It goes to show you, it always kills me when I hear
New
some
details
people
tonight in the
say.
shooting death.
It always kills me when I hear some people say how racist this country is. if this is racist, I'm curious what not racist would look like.
It would be enslavement and worship. Like
It would be
that's what a lot of people don't understand, is that
yeah.
it's a matter of, if you have anything, you are a problem. I deserve
Yeah.
everything, you deserve
Right.
nothing.
It would 110% be worship. Like outright worshiping the brothers. You know what I'm saying? Can you
Yeah.
imagine how disgusting and pathetic that would be?
I mean, it's really it got there. I mean,
What
brothers was worship.
it, man, it feels like we're doing that shit now with all this George Floyd shit that happened, bro. They were
Yeah,
worshiping that crackhead.
George Floyd is a saint. In this house, George Floyd is a saint.
Every time I smoke crack, I say a quick prayer to the saints.
I'm telling you, man. Jeez. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
One man is dead and 2 others, including a teen, were injured after a dispute turned violent in Hialeah. NBC6's Lorena Inclán is live from the neighborhood with more. And Lorena, several neighbors there heard the gunshots.
They did, and police say the person who fired those
Smash.
shots is in the hospital
Smash.
in a critical but stable condition. And we are learning also that that person ended up getting stabbed in this dispute. And then police say he turned around, grabbed a gun, and shot the alleged stabber.
I was sitting watching TV, and I heard pa 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 pa.
I heard a gunshot and I opened the door. And when I went outside, I saw
No one speaks English. The fuck is this, man?
men running.
Neighbors who live in the area of West 10th Court near West 40th Street described hearing a troubling scene Wednesday night around 10:30. A few minutes after hearing the gunshots,
My neighbor texted me, "Did you see that we have like 10 police cars in front of our house?"
according to Hialeah police, it all started with a verbal dispute that escalated when a man stabbed another man in his 50s. During that attack, a 16-year-old boy intervened to defend his father, who had just been stabbed, and he ended up with several cuts on his arms. As the alleged stabber was leaving the home, police say the man who had just been stabbed grabbed a gun and shot and killed him.
In this neighborhood, never ever happened. The first time I see something like that.
Today, crews were here taking photos of the scene and cleaning up the area as the investigation continues to figure out what sparked this deadly fight. And according to Hialeah PD, the person who fired the shots will end up getting charged, but it's unclear right now what charges he will face. We do know right now the alleged shooter and the alleged stabber are not related to each other, and the alleged shooter's teenage son is expected to recover. Reporting live from Hialeah, Lorena Inclán, NBC6 News.
Lorena Inclán. Yikes.
Well, a pregnant woman who disappeared in Hallandale Beach last year has turned up in New York City. That woman gave birth on a subway train yesterday. Nico Clemens reached out to the woman's family. Nico, what do they have to say about all this?
Well, Trina, her mother is still here in South Florida. She has a sister in Texas, but we're actually not far from where Jenny St. Pierre was last seen. Her family, Trina, they prayed and prayed. They searched, but nothing until yesterday when they got word of a video thousands of miles away.
Medical situation.
The only thing I say, that's a blessing.
Answered prayers.
That's a miracle happening. Because if not God is not witness, you cannot have the baby.
Months after her family reported her missing in Hallandale Beach, 25-year-old Jenny St. Pierre is missing no more. This is St. Pierre giving birth on a subway train in Manhattan, New York, Wednesday.
Now I have a granddaughter. I cannot believe it. That's my first granddaughter.
We spoke with her mother Thursday. She doesn't want to show her face on camera, but wants to express how she feels, knowing that her daughter and grandchild are safe.
Every night when I'm sleeping, I'm praying for her to be safe with the baby.
Family members reported St. Pierre missing in August of last year. Hallandale Beach police said her ex-boyfriend last saw her at Gulfstream Park. At the time, police said the 25-year-old was pregnant and living with schizophrenia. The family says there were no updates until Wednesday. St. Pierre's sister says they want her to now get the care and resources she needs.
She's a really strong baby. I mean, she came out a warrior, very strong, very resilient. I didn't even hear her cry much in the videos.
Have any of y'all ever seen a baby born? Press 1 if you've seen a baby born. If you've seen it with your own eyes.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is crazy, my nigga. You heard me? Like,
Yeah.
like,
Ow. Especially if it's your baby.
Yo, let me tell you something, man. Like, the fact that that's the way every single person you see came into the world, that shit is insane, Jack. I saw that shit. I seen my son born. I seen my daughter born, but that was a C-section. But this right here, woo! I'm telling you, man, when you see that shit, you be like,
birth,
whoa.
yeah, crazy, right?
Yeah, that shit is insane, Jack. Like that life, like yo, that shit is crazy.
Yeah, they look weird too, you know, like they just pop out, they look like aliens or something.
I'm telling you, it's all like what it take. It take a bunch of like, you know, it's tribes in Africa where the woman, she just go out into the fucking bush and had a baby on her own, standing up. That's how my wife had the baby. They tried to like do all this stuff. She just leaned over on the fucking on the gurney. She was standing up. She leaned over, put her elbows down. That motherfucker, and my son just came out. I was like, wow, that shit was crazy, dog. That's the way every single person got here. That is insane, man. Yeah.
Very strong, very resilient. I didn't even hear her cry much in the videos. I mean, just a miracle, baby girl.
A miracle after months of praying for one.
Would you say your prayers have been answered?
Yes.
St. Pierre's mother and sister plan to go to New York tomorrow to see Jenny and the baby and figure out what they can do to keep everyone together. In Hallandale Beach, Nico Clemens, NBC6 News.
Well, we wish.
Yeah.
Well, one man is dead and 2 others.
They give you a different appreciation for life, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just lets you know that like it take a lot, man. It's a lot that go into it. I mean, just watching the whole pregnancy from beginning to end.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, the contractions. My wife, because remember, my son was 42 weeks. He wanted to stay in there. And he kept, I mean, the days kept going by, kept being like, yo, what's good? Like, we having the baby. He's like, nah, you go to the hospital, they be like, you want to induce? It's like, nah, she don't want to induce. But yeah, he was in there for 42 weeks. Them contractions, boy, them joints ain't no joke. Like, the contractions, like every 15 minutes for like 2 weeks, my wife had contractions. And them joints ain't no joke contractions. Because the baby was in there so long. The baby was trying to come out, but for some reason he wouldn't come out. So she had contractions for like 2 weeks straight, 15 minutes apart. That shit was crazy.
Yo, Mystic, you got kids?
Yeah, I got a daughter.
How's your daughter?
Nice.
What's this? Where we at? What's this? February? She'll be 2. She'll be 2 in May.
Okay, I'm about to say.
He like, I don't know.
Oh man.
May 21st is her birthday.
Okay.
And we begin at 10 with new details into a story 5 on your side was the first to break. St. Louis police investigating a sheriff's deputy accused of sexually assaulting a woman detained at the City Justice Center.
Jesus
Tonight, that deputy is
Christ.
now out of a job. Thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Brent Solomon.
Shout out to D from Boston, man. D from Boston in the building. Muramasa. He says, "What's up, Ak? I sent you a video link in your Gmail. Check it out. Funny. All right, I'll check it out. Shout out to Muramasa."
Kelly Jackson has the night off. It all happened after that newly elected sheriff stormed into the jail demanding answers. That's when Sheriff Alfred Montgomery says he was forced to have one of his deputies place the interim jail commissioner in handcuffs. He says that's because he wanted to get the victim side of the story, but claims he was blocked.
We told her that, listen, we just want to talk to you for a moment.
Why
Are
are
you
you
denying
looking
us
at him
access
like
to the
that?
jail? She said, yes. I asked again,
Yeah,
are you
what
really
the
denying
fuck?
the sheriff's office access to the jail? She responded, yes. I said, well, you have to come with us. We have been denied
He's got
access to the
two-tone
jail,
hair.
not once, but twice. And this is what prompted the consequences that happened today with Deputy Commissioner Ross.
The sheriff says he has reviewed video and audio from the jail regarding the alleged sexual assault. The deputy suspected in the assault has been fired, but not yet formally charged with the crime. St. Louis police tell us they are aware of a potential incident today at the City Justice Center and have no comment at this time. You can watch the full interview with political editor Mark Maxwell and Sheriff Montgomery right now on our website at ksdk.com. Look for updates on this developing story on air and on the 5+ app.
Jeez.
I speak in favor of my city becoming a sanctuary city for people like me. I speak.
Why do they?
Holy shit.
Jesus. Hate these people, man. Listen, I'm not even sure I'm going to lie to you. I do not like transgender. Now, here's the thing. Maybe I could meet a transgender one day that I could, respect or, just think was like a regular guy. The ones I see on these like clips and on the news and talking, their public representation is shitty. You heard me?
They be extra with it.
You never see one of them that's just like, okay, you trans, but you're just a normal person. No, these motherfuckers.
They're mentally ill.
I speak.
And this one, like, just put on some lipstick. Like, what the fuck? Didn't even try. Put in some more effort.
Right.
Yeah, put some tits on like that one guy.
Yeah, like damn.
City becoming a sanctuary city for people like me. I speak.
It's like the fucking Joker.
And the T in the LGBT. I speak as someone who is always misgendered, like all the time. People refer to me as sir when I prefer to be referred to as ma'am.
Right now in our country,
Look at how
Trump
it
is threatening the
moves.
trans and gender diverse
So
community.
weird, right?
He's using policy to take away protections. He is making it hard for trans people to renew passports, to get the care they need. He is trying to erase us.
I want you to know that I do not want to be here.
Yo,
Take it off.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, cute smash.
Is that a painted on beard? What the hell's going on there?
Right?
Shoulder pad. She looked like she drowning in that suit too. That's like a model suit. Fuck. Damn.
These people are mentally ill. They're unfit for anything. So I'm saying, just like tell them all, look, we're going to give you free shit at this location, and then force them at gunpoint onto like a helicopter or something, and then just throw them in the ocean.
Yeah, give them their own fucking island, man. Like,
No, they don't get no island. They get nothing. They get. We're gonna fly until we find like a couple great white sharks. Get the fuck off the helicopter.
Take them to SeaWorld. Dump them in the fucking.
We should just send them to Africa.
Nah, man. They probably would take over Africa. They'd be the leaders of every country. They got hierarchies, man.
Wow.
Every country be transgender fucking president and shit. One of these motherfuckers.
Off. I do not want to be in your DMs. I do not want to be in your email inboxes. I do not want my creativity writing diss tracks like Kendrick. I don't want to spend an hour applying glitter on my face so that you will hear and see me.
To those claiming that making Worcester a sanctuary city could risk federal funding, that's fear-mongering.
If you think you're afraid of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am.
Can you wrap up, please?
Yes, I can. If you say that you're afraid of Trump and that's why you don't want the city to be a safe space for trans people, you better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
Threat. That's a threat.
Yeah.
Can you look at me and tell me how many of my friends need to die before you do anything?
Please wrap up.
Look at me.
Okay, we're all done here.
Fucking pathetic.
We're all done. Come on.
I ask you all,
These are just like
family, may we pick up
angry
our
children
bricks,
with no
because we
parents.
will not go down without every silent cis straight person waking up and seeing the blood on their hands.
I use the pronoun she and her, and I am disabled cisgender lesbian. The Jesus that I know would be right here in this gallery, lined up to speak during this public comment, standing in solidarity with the brave people here. The Jesus I know would be dressed in full drag and serving face, or wrapped in the
He
garb.
said that Jesus he knows would be dressed in full drag and serving face.
I know would be dressed
Heinous
in full
blasphemy.
drag and serving face, or wrapped in the garb of a non-binary person who knows one gender is way too small to capture their gloriousness.
I cannot overstate that the United States is rapidly sliding into fascism, and conceding because we are scared of the repercussions validates and allows fascism to
Wow,
continue.
this one right here, like what the fuck?
Where's Mao at?
Crazy. This is insane.
How many lives have to be lost before you consider fighting back against fascism and corruption?
You have the opportunity to stand up to violence and fascism that is spreading all over our country like wildfire.
I am agender, and I use they, them pronouns.
They, them as a singular
Uh-oh.
pronoun
Finally, a
has been
black
in use
person.
since the 14th century.
Finally, a black person. You go, sister. You had to work 10 times as hard to get up
You
here,
go,
man.
girl.
Yay.
They, them as a
Like none of these people
singular
have
pronoun
skills.
has been
They can't fix anything. They don't know how to do anything.
They could join the circus. That could be a skill.
Motley crew. These are some crazy motherfuckers, man.
has been in use since the 14th century. No one in this room is as old as the 14th century, so I'm going to ask for some adaptation. I invite every member through the chair of City Council to come to my queer studies classroom at Worcester State University. You are all welcome every time, but be aware that you are a guest in my house when you come. And when you come, know that there are strong queer and trans people in my classroom who will collect you with the quickness if you speak out of turn.
The reason that Worcester needs to be a safe space
Thanks, but no
for
thanks.
trans
It's like
people
almost
is because
all
I
women.
can't go home where I can't work. I don't qualify for disability.
Or men
I
pretending to
can't
be
drive because
women.
I'm narcoleptic, and my family doesn't support me because I'm trans. And then come to a city council that won't listen to my voice. I need the city to protect me because no one else will.
How much for one trans life? How many dollars does it take to put them on the chopping block? I want a precise number. I want a dollar amount. And who next? Who's the next protected group to be tied to the railroad tracks? And will you fold for them? Now is the time to stand up for tyranny.
You can make all the rules and whatever you want, but you cannot change nature.
Right, that's applies to you, retard.
Okay. No. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, that's all.
This evening, a
I mean,
60-year-old North Carolina man is behind bars in Marion
nature, I
County
agree there.
after he was caught on.
You know what I mean, Ak? He's right when he says that you cannot change nature. As much as you want to
So
pretend that you're female.
like in a group of men, there's no way these men would act like this. They'd be terrified because they know they would be swiftly dealt with.
Wow. Jesus.
I mean,
On camera,
instinctively,
threatening a woman at gunpoint. The video you see
Yeah,
there
it's a threat
is
to
happening right outside of a
humanity.
busy gas station on Indy's northeast side.
Yeah, tonight, Fox 59's Jesse Wells is talking with.
Think about it, Ak, as men, instinctively, they'll be dealt with, right? Think about some men, right? How they kill trans women so quickly, right? That's because they like the impulse control, but they're still men, right? Men would organically deal with this issue, you know, because it's foreign. It's kind of like when you get sick and your body attacks the sickness.
Yeah, they're literally undermining the entire mechanism by which the species exists. Men and women. Women attracted to strong men, men attracted to busty feminine women. Like that is never not going to be the case.
Right.
Talking with the man who recorded that video, and he joins us now to explain what happened. Jesse.
Luckily, no one was seriously injured during the armed confrontation here in this gas station parking lot behind me, but witnesses hope the crime serves as a lesson to everyone to settle their conflicts without picking up a firearm.
Overhearing an argument Tuesday night outside a Speedway at 56th and Emerson, a witness started recording a fight on his phone between a woman sitting in her car and a man standing next to her door.
Hey, bro! Hey!
Multiple witnesses began yelling for help after the man pulled out a gun and violently pointed the weapon at the victim's head.
She didn't do anything to show signs of aggression, so he definitely took it to the extreme.
Kevin Edwards recorded the fight and watched the armed suspect repeatedly threaten to shoot the woman at point-blank range.
That was completely unnecessary to pull a firearm.
I don't know why you're pointing your gun like you're a cop or something.
The suspect, 60-year-old Mark White, held the woman at gunpoint as they argued for several more minutes until police arrived.
That's why I was saying on the recording, who the hell does this guy think he is, you know?
Once on scene, officers arrested White for intimidation and battery with a deadly weapon, as well as criminal recklessness and strangulation. According to court records, the argument started after White honked his horn several times at the victim, who was sitting at one of the gas pumps. The woman admitted she did have a gun, but she never pointed it at the suspect.
Hey, man, don't do that, man. Get off her, man.
Kevin says he's just relieved no shots were ever fired.
I'm just glad that could have been worse. I would sleep better if just one person would realize that you have so much to lose and it can happen so fast. So just think about your actions before you make them.
Finally, the suspect is being held on a $30,000 bond pending the filing of formal charges. Jesse Wells, Fox 59.
Glider. And I think that was a sister, too.
He was all up on that sister. Hands in the face and everything.
So what you're saying, Nak, is that it was a hate crime?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she was hating on him. He had to. He made sure she could recognize.
We're following breaking news out of Missouri. Andrew Lester, the 86-year-old man who was charged with shooting black teenager Ralph Yarl in 2023, has just pleaded guilty to lesser charges after reaching a deal with prosecutors. Yarl was 16 years old when prosecutors say Andrew Lester shot him in the head and arm after Yarl says he mistakenly rang the doorbell of the wrong house while trying to pick up his two younger siblings. Yarl was hospitalized and later recovered. NBC News correspondent Shaquille Brewster is outside the courthouse in Liberty, Missouri, has been tracking this today. So, Shaq, what happened in court?
Well, Zinkley, this is a hearing that just wrapped up. It went on for just about 10 minutes. We do know that Ralph Yarl and his family were inside that courtroom, as was the 86-year-old defendant who accepted this plea deal. And according to folks in the courtroom, you saw 86-year-old Andrew Lester plead guilty to a Class D second-degree assault felony. That's a crime that is punishable by up to 7 years in prison, though we don't know the specific terms of that agreement. We do expect to hear from prosecutors and from the family potentially at some point later today. But Zinkley, this is a major development in this case for the obvious reason of the plea deal. But this was a trial that was set to begin next week. Jury selection was scheduled for Tuesday. There were many delays in this case. We know last fall, for example, the judge put a pause on the proceedings so that Lester could undergo a mental evaluation, and that trial was set for just days from now. But now we know that it has been avoided with this plea deal. Again, a guilty plea for a felony charge.
And Shaq, you mentioned Yarl's family. What are we hearing from them? And also what comes next in terms of dates for sentencing?
Yeah, we just got a statement from Yarl's mother, Cleo. She says in part that Lester's plea does not erase Ralph's trauma or the deeper injustices that made this tragedy possible. She goes on to say the fight against systemic failures and racial...
The justice that he knocked on the wrong door and the old fucking 80-something-year-old man got spooked and shot him. That's injustice. That fucking guy probably didn't leave the house. Remember his fucking grandson came and threw him under the bus? His fucking biracial grandson. Y'all remember that? The old man, that shit was crazy. That guy was a fucking character too, man.
What the
It's
hell?
just amazing that they can keep up with all this and not at all recognize the constant onslaught of violence in every black community every single day.
Well, Fisherman, what about white on white crime though?
I mean, it is minute in comparison.
Erase Ralph's trauma or the deeper injustices that made this tragedy possible. She goes on to say the fight against systemic failures and racial bias must continue. And she called on members of the community to turn this moment into lasting change. We heard her in an interview a couple of weeks ago with a local affiliate talk about the potential of there being a plea deal in this case. And she said that she would be satisfied with some sort of accountability. And she also said she would be relieved by the fact that Ralph Yarl would not have to show up for a trial and to essentially relive that shooting that took place in April of 2023. We don't know yet when that sentencing will be. Again, this 86-year-old man is now facing up to 7 years in prison, though we don't know the particulars of what was exactly agreed to. We'll wait to hear more from the prosecutors in Clay.
All right, more information to come on.
Jesus Christ, man.
Man, throw a book at that glider.
People are so fucking annoying.
You're gonna die in that joint. They're not gonna.
Tonight, a guilty plea from Andrew Lester, the man who shot Ralph Yarl in 2023 after the teenager mistakenly rang the doorbell of the wrong home while trying to pick up his twin brothers in Kansas City, Missouri.
This outcome ensures accountability for the defendant, provides closure to Mr. Yarl, and satisfies the need to achieve a just result in the case.
The 86-year-old seen entering the court in a wheelchair, pleading guilty to second-degree assault, a felony that carries a maximum sentence of 7 years in prison.
The state will be requesting a sentence of 5 years incarceration.
In the courtroom, Ralph Yarl and his family. Early in the hearing, mom Cleo Nagby putting her arm around her son.
I have. He's a good kid though, but you know they Nigerians. Look at that pro. God damn. He's a good kid. He plays, I think, cello or something. Well, the fuck he plays some instrument. It's just a bad situation, man. It was just a terrible situation that just mistake, accident.
Yeah, I
You know?
mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. Like, if he shot someone I care about, I'd be pretty upset about it. That's understandable.
Yeah. I mean, it's just weird. You just went to the wrong fucking house and was banging on the door. It's weird, man. A lot of weird shit, man. But yeah, he was a good kid. I'll give him that.
I have mixed feelings. Everybody thinks it's a big day, but it's a big day that was too delayed.
Explain that.
Well, I knew he was guilty. He knew he was guilty. Why did it take 2 years?
In April 2023,
That's how the
Lester shot
system
Jarl
works.
twice through the closed storm door of his home, telling police he was scared to death when the teen rang his doorbell just before 10 p.m. Jarl, who was a high school honor student at the time, was struck in the head and arm. He survived, but has permanent physical and mental injuries, explaining to NBC News' Antonia Hilton last year.
Would you say it's been harder to physically recover or mentally recover?
Definitely mentally, but it's a constant uphill battle.
It's a long road, but he's strong. He's not just strong, he's very, very strong.
The dramatic update in this case coming just days before the scheduled start of the trial that saw repeated delays.
I have twin boys and a 13-year-old.
Wow.
Since the incident happened, these boys have never gone on another play date.
Really?
No.
Yeah, but here's the thing: how can you live in Blackistan? Don't move to Blackistan. Stay with the white people you live around. Because you live in Blackistan, man, you gotta get over shit like that, getting shot, shit like that. You gotta keep it pushing, man. Hearing
Yeah,
gunshots,
not only that, when you're subjected to that, no one's held accountable for it.
yeah, there's no sympathy. The white bullets hurt more. There would be nobody tripping off of this shit.
In Blackistan now, people that are known murderers are walking around coolly. So what you talking about, sister?
Yeah, no one would be tripping off of this shit. This would be something that happened, and he's not even part of the hood either. He's like, this a good kid playing the cello and shit. Nobody in the fucking neighborhood even know who the fuck he was.
Very, very
Especially because he survived.
The dramatic update in this case coming just days before the scheduled start of the trial that saw repeated delays.
I have twin boys and a 13-year-old. Since the incident happened, these boys have never gone on another play date.
Really?
No, they've never had friends come over.
Nagby now pushing the Clay County prosecutor to ask for a longer sentence in this case, saying they've always believed race was a factor, even if it wasn't mentioned in the original charges.
So if he's putting his word down for this black kid, he needs to fight with his guts. And he needs to fight for him with everything that he has. This is not just about Ralph. I say all the time, Ralph is alive for a reason, but Ralph was just a human that was, God just saved his life so that people can see that we need to do more.
Shaquille Brewster joining us now from Liberty, Missouri.
And
you can
what is
hear
it that we
the
need to do?
heartache, Shaq. When could we see sentencing here? And the family also, it appears like, is pursuing civil litigation as well?
Yeah, they're suing everybody.
That's right, Sam. The sentencing is scheduled for March 7th. And really, it's up to the judge at this point in terms of what that sentence will be. State law allows for anything as light as 1 day in jail, or it says actually, and or a fine. all the way up to that maximum 7 years behind bars. You heard in that story there that the state prosecutor is going to be asking the judge for 5 years in prison. But talking to Jarl's mother, you really heard the pain in her voice. And she also said that this is going to help bring a sense of closure. This is going to help Jarl move on as he's in college right now and live the life that he wants to live. But she made clear that the fight is not over. There's that civil litigation against both Lester and his housing association that alleges he was careless in his actions. But she says she also wants this to start a conversation around gun violence.
The homeowners association
Can't function in first world society, period. Like, to be able to sit there and say, well, it was obviously race, and then the rebuttal is, okay, so based on what? And she's just like, well, how is it not? There's no, like, the amount of privilege it would take, like, she's literally arguing for privilege. It does not matter if there's evidence or not. I'm black, do what I say.
Yeah, and she wants people to do more when he's already fucking 86 in a wheelchair going to court for a felony. Like, nah, lady. Like, the shit is being done. Shut up.
Jeez.
Hey, you got KB and Cook County in the bet.
Okay.
Nah, I'm right here, bro.
KB just spoke.
Okay.
KB's been up here.
Fisherman.
Thought we were the same person.
Yo. Yeah, my fault, yeah.
Salute to Malik Quelly, man. He says, I thought it was a SNL skit. Yeah, man. Shout out to Malik Quelly, man.
Hey, yo,
yeah, what's happening?
What's good, y'all? Hey, to touch on that Obama shit, it was like late last year, well, maybe a year and a half ago when they first started, they found a so-called noose in the work site, and they took off for like 2 weeks. And now they fucking the concrete all fucked up and shit.
And that's hundreds of millions of dollars devoted to that project of Glider's money.
Bro, they
put the noose there themselves to get a week
so
off.
Too. I think so too. Hey, but dude, they that area was like one of the like only areas on like the south side where it was like a natural, that shit was low key.
Yeah, green space.
Yeah, it was like it was like native coyotes and shit in there, all that. Bro, they fucking just flattened that place to build that ugly piece of shit that might not be finished for like 10 fucking years.
And you know, they told Obama, because you know the South Side Act it's like a lot of empty spaces, a lot of lots, and he said, "Hell no, I want that green space."
Bro, that was nice, bro. They had they had like a fucking like a pond and shit over there. It was like, it was super peaceful, bro. People used to real deal go in there and like, you know, do nature shit in the city, and that motherfucker flattened that shit.
And there's a lot of lots.
That really sucks.
There was like a lot of space you could have put that shit in. You know, a lot of abandoned buildings.
He's an asshole. Damn.
Big one. Hey, was that blue-haired motherfucker? That's a dude too. That was a transgender shit type.
All of them were dudes.
Don't ask me, man.
That's crazy.
Oh, no, man. I don't know what's going on with half these motherfuckers.
Who knows what the idea is though?
Developing tonight, an Atlanta neighborhood wants your help finding this person accused of attacking a man who was working outside of a church. Channel 2's Courtney Francisco live outside Atlanta Police Headquarters on this story. Courtney, it's where and when this attack happened that has so many people upset.
That's right. It happened before sunset in front of a lot of people and a lot of cameras. In less than 10 seconds, a robber stole a man's wallet, money, and an entire street's sense of security. Neighbors watched surveillance video with me. Oh, wow. And said they've been analyzing it.
Absolutely. I looked at his pants and everything.
It happened in front of River of Life Christian Center Saturday before 5:30 in the evening. A man told police he was cleaning outside his church when a guy walked up, demanded his wallet, pushed him down, reached into his pocket, and took it with the cash and cards inside. You can see the blow knocked his glasses and his shoes off. Investigators said it left the 79-year-old man with multiple cuts, bruises, and scratches.
I feel for the deacon over there, and I'm just so sad it happened.
I counted 6 cars passing when it happened. The police report says one of them stopped to tell the officer what they saw.
To give you an idea of where this is at, this is off of a busy portion of MLK right next to the Adamsville Library.
It's feet from the old Adamsville Emergency Shelter, used as a senior day center right now, and it's next to Janae Buchan's ice cream shop.
I would literally be right here on the sidewalk with my sign, telling people to come into the ice cream shop to get some ice cream on a beautiful, warm day.
In her surveillance video, you see someone pass 2 of her customers outside and walk toward the Target at the front of the church. Another spot covered in cameras. This one, hidden behind the church sign, caught the accused robber's face clearly.
I'll be on the lookout and tell other people to look out for it as well.
I reached out to the man mugged, the church leaders, and the people who saw the attack. None were ready to talk yet. Reporting live from downtown Atlanta, Courtney Francisco, WSB Tonight.
Like we talked about, in front of so many people, you see that guy on the ground so helpless.
Wow.
What a piece of shit, dude.
Ambushing the elderly outside of church.
Right.
Just,
Think about where you
nowhere.
are in life. Think about what space you're in this moment in life to do something like that. Be able to admit it is fucked up, like.
None of them had an ID. None of them had a uniform, nor did they have a badge. They didn't have a court order. They didn't identify themselves, and they just jumped into the private property of my truck and apprehended.
The owner
Were
of
your
Taco and
workers
Ganas is
illegal?
speaking out after ICE agents arrested 3 of his employees Monday. Today, we learned the arrests are tied to potential labor trafficking. Fox 13's Dominic Dillon joins us live from a Taco and Ganas in Cordova. Dominic, Homeland Security said that 2 of the workers have prior convictions for immigration's violations. Are the consequences for the business, is this the connection here?
Well, Dorothy, hopefully we can find out as this investigation continues. But what we do know is that there are civil and criminal penalties for employing undocumented immigrants. Now, the civil penalties could be a fine of up to $16,000, and an employer could face up to 6 months behind bars. And if an employer is caught trying to fake compliance for employees, they could be hit with a felony.
We thought it was the best way to address this situation with the statement and let the video tell the story.
The owner of Taco and Ganas is speaking out after releasing this video on the company's social media platform Monday. The video shows what we have now learned from the Department of Homeland Security are ICE agents arresting 3 Mexican nationals while they were working as part of a labor trafficking investigation.
When the federal government comes after you, they want to have their ducks in a row. And I believe that this was several agencies working.
This is not the first time Taco and Ganas has been connected to a federal labor investigation. In a Facebook post in 2021, Diaz said he was traveling to Mexico to recruit employees. The post said employees would work 12-hour days with only 1 day off and make about $9 per hour with no overtime. In 2022, the U.S. Department of Labor's Wage and Hour Division opened an investigation into the company. It's unclear if the investigation that led to Monday's arrest is related to the investigation from 2022.
If you are being mistreated by your employer, this would include situations of being paid under the federal minimum wage, forced overtime with no extra pay. Your employer is threatening to call immigration or some law enforcement on you for not doing this required overtime that they're asking of you, then please contact an immigration attorney, cooperate with authorities, because not only is that the right and just thing to do, it also would result in that employee getting on the path to an immigration status.
On Greg Diaz's Facebook page, he had announced a vigil to pray for the 3 employees that were arrested and the community as a whole. But we recently learned that that vigil that was supposed to be at a local church had been canceled. And at that vigil, we were also going to have an opportunity to hear from attorneys. But once again, we've learned that it has been canceled. Darcy?
That is Fox 13's Dominic Dillon reporting live from Cordova tonight. Thank you, Dominic.
More than 24 illegal immigrants are in custody in Baldwin County. The FBI, Homeland Security, and Baldwin County Sheriff's Office moving in fast this week, hitting multiple neighborhoods in Daphne and Spanish Fort.
These some rough-looking fucking goddamn
Multiple
Indians,
neighborhoods in
man.
Daphne and Spanish Fort.
Jesus Christ. How you like these? All these motherfuckers just be dropped off in your fucking neighborhood. God damn.
That dude's eyes are way too close together.
Yeah, you got that fetal alcohol syndrome.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Oh, Lanice right there. She's with
Homeland
a
Security
white man.
and Baldwin County Sheriff's Office
really?
moving in fast
Yeah,
this
she
week,
got some
hitting
Melungeon
multiple neighborhoods
babies.
in Daphne and Spanish Fort. For the first time tonight, we're talking to someone who lives in one of the neighborhoods targeted. Our Natalie Williamson is live at the Mobile FBI office. Natalie, tell us what took law enforcement to those specific areas.
Well, any special agent in charge, Parker Still, tells me it's a number of reasons. One of them being tips from people in that area. And tonight we're pressing for answers about businesses who are hiring them. Tonight, the FBI continues to crack down on illegal immigrants. This week, the FBI, Homeland Security, and the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office quickly sweeping into action.
This ain't
2
nice.
agents walking an illegal immigrant with his hands behind his back in the Jubilee Farms neighborhood in Daphne. Michael Veldman, who lives in this neighborhood, says there has been a lot of construction in the area and got curious when law enforcement officers arrived on those sites.
So I decided to walk down to the construction area, and I saw about 12 to 15 ATF agents. I had bumped into another neighbor walking through there, and that neighbor had told me that they had apprehended 15 immigrants from both construction sites in this neighborhood.
Signs in this neighborhood showed this is a development by D.R. Horton, which is a home construction company. A law enforcement source tells me illegal immigrants were also arrested in the Stonebridge neighborhood in Spanish Fort, which is another development by D.R. Horton. According to the Immigration Reform and Control Act, this law prohibits employers to knowingly hire, recruit, or refer illegal immigrants. If they do, they could face multiple consequences, including fines and even up to 6 months in jail. We asked the special agent in charge of the Mobile FBI office if anyone besides the illegal aliens would be held accountable.
Yeah, I don't want to get into specifics about the business consequences, other than, like I said earlier, these are enforcement actions that the FBI, along with our partners, specifically Homeland Security, Investigations, HSI, as well as Baldwin County Sheriff's Department, we're involved with today.
Fox 10 News reached out to D.R. Horton's Baldwin County office to try and get a statement about the arrests. They said they couldn't comment, so I called and emailed.
Oh man. Let's go across the pond, man.
Well, at least 28 people have been injured after a car driven by an Afghan asylum seeker was driven into a crowd of people in the German city of Munich in a suspected deliberate attack. Bridget Rollison joins us now from London. Bridget, what can you tell us?
Well, Catherine, a group of trade union members were holding a protest in the centre of Munich when this car ploughed through that crowd. Police say that they were actually following this crowd of protesters when this car came up behind them, overtook them, and then sped through this group of people. They actually shot at the car before arresting the
I've
driver.
been there when this happened, man, in Charlottesville, when somebody just comes and runs their car through the middle of that shit. Anybody ever been through something like that? You ever seen that? That shit is crazy too, man. That shit is bananas, Jack.
The driver, which they say is a 24-year-old Afghan asylum seeker. Dozens of people have been injured in this attack, 11 seriously, and some of those included children. And sadly, these sorts of scenes are becoming common in Germany. Just 3 weeks ago in the same region, we saw a toddler and a man killed in a stabbing attack in a park. An Afghan asylum seeker was arrested over that. And 2 months ago, 6 people were killed when a car ploughed through a Christmas market in the city of Magdeburg, and a Saudi doctor who had been living in Germany for some time was also arrested over that. Now, this has all come at a pretty politically tense time for Germany. The national elections are just 10 days away, and the issue of immigration has really been at the forefront of the campaigning for this national election. The leaders of Germany have been coming out pretty strong on this today. We had the Bavarian.
Germany is a fucking, I don't know if they're as bad as England. Shout out to CA. She says, happy birthday and happy Valentine's Day. And happy B-Day to all us February babies. We the best. Shout out to CA, man. CA in the building. Long time. Malik Kweli says, I thought it was an SNL skit. Yeah, definitely, man. Doug Chunk says, happy birthday, young man. How old are you, Doug? Doug seems like he's about, I would say Doug about 50. I'll give Doug 50. 52. I'll give you 52, Doug. Shout out to Douglas Chunks, man. Douglas Chunks always supporting the channel to the utmost. Salute to Douglas Chunks, man, keeping the Ock Nation channel alive, keeping the lights on. Shout out to Douglas Chunks, keeping the lights on. 50 memberships. 50 memberships. 50. I'm gonna have to do something for y'all members, man. I have to do something for y'all members real soon, man. Shout out to Douglas Chunks. Douglas Chunks.
Let's talk well, quite. I mean, let's talk about a couple of other things that have been on the radar in terms of terrorism. We've got that story in Germany from yesterday where a 24-year-old Afghan national took it upon himself to drive a car into a crowd of people, which I think worries a lot of people in Germany because it's another example of the homegrown terrorism that they've got, the problem they've got there, because they invited all these people in. We've got a similar situation going on here. I was just talking to the mother of Barnaby Webber, who wasn't killed by a terrorist, but was killed by somebody who shouldn't have been on the streets. But we also know that Prevent have been in the firing line this week about all of the people like David Amis MP, like the Southport children, like various other incidents that have happened around the country. Prevent just simply hasn't done its job, has it?
Well, it's not just Prevent, to be fair. I mean, they do a really good job. It's, of course, you don't hear about the ones that...
I hope Britain's immigration judges and lawyers can sleep at night if a foreign criminal who they let stay in Britain kills a load of people. Today in Germany, a deadly car attack happened. The man they've arrested is a 24-year-old Afghan failed asylum seeker with a history of drug offences. Here he is actually being detained.
Oh shit! Man, he's saying Allah and shit. Wow.
So he's an asylum seeker seeking asylum from presumably the Taliban, which controls Afghanistan, and yet somehow in his mind it also makes sense to go somewhere and do this shit. Make that make sense.
It does if you worship Allah.
Yeah, facts.
But why would he not empathize with the Taliban? Why is he
Well, I
seeking
think the
asylum?
Taliban's anti-drugs, so if he was involved in drugs, maybe they didn't like him.
Yeah, they're mean. Taliban is mean.
Well, I mean, look, Fish, the gliders give you free shit.
Well, it just shows like the insanity and the delusion of this whole asylum thing. Asylum shouldn't be a thing, I don't think. It shouldn't be at all. Fix your shit.
Yeah, and listen. This whole asylum shit is it's just it's a European thing for the guilt. Listen, I didn't read, but I was seeing the documentary the other day about the Herero tribe in Africa, and the Germans owned that part of, I think, Angola, and this was 1905, so not that long ago. And they forced the Herero tribe into brutal, forced labor. So, basically the whole tribe was slaves, right? But they called it forced. They called it, working. And those Germans was down there, like a battalion or whatever was down there, keeping things in line. And the Herero people revolted and they killed 123 German soldiers and German soldiers and civilians that were down there. The general responded to that by killing. Guess how? So there were 80,000 Herero tribesmen at that time. Guess how many he killed? He ordered his men to kill because he just said, shoot them. He said, you shoot every one of them, man, woman, and baby. Just shoot them all.
Yeah, I was going to say all of them.
80,000. Guess how many they killed?
40,000.
60,000 of them.
No, not all of them. How generous.
And then the Germans recalled the general, and I guess the bloodshed stopped after that. But gliders have done some fucked up things, man. I mean, some fucked up things. Y'all got some shit to be guilty over, but at the same time, no one else is guilty over any of the other stuff they do.
But guilt's irrelevant. The only thing that matters is winning. Guilt is made up.
Yeah.
Guilt for your ancestors or things that you didn't do is absolutely made up.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, gliders have done some fucked up things.
Okay.
At least 28 people were injured. Some of them were young children, and one was apparently a child in their pram. That's the definition of innocence, that, isn't it? A child new into this world, being pushed along like that, potentially killed by a rabid Afghan asylum seeker who should never have been here. How many times? In the last year in Germany, there have been 5 terror attacks, all committed by asylum seekers. 3 of them have been Afghans, 1's been Syrian, and 1 is a Saudi. It was just a couple of weeks ago, another Afghan stabbed a toddler and a man to death in a German park. Well, here in Britain, the public want illegal migrants deported, don't they? They want them sent home, even if it is to a war-torn country. They want foreign criminals booted out. The Tories wanted foreign criminals booted out. Reform want foreign criminals booted out. Labour say they want foreign criminals booted out, but judges keep letting them stay. The Pakistani paedophile with a penchant for prepubescent girls was allowed to stay so he could look after his own daughters. A migrant gangster who murdered someone couldn't be deported because of EU rules. We can't deport a Jamaican drug dealer because his child might be trans. A Jamaican rapist can't be deported because he might be bisexual, despite there being no evidence of him being bisexual. And we have yesterday's case of a Nigerian woman who failed 8 times.
Yeah, they're in deep shit because those laws and all that shit. In order to roll that shit back, you need a guy with some balls, and they don't have any men with any balls over there. So that's going to be a rough one for England, man, to fix, man. Or unless a guy comes along that we haven't heard of, and he just, takes it by the throne, takes the bull by the horn. But it does seem like Europe has a Trump. It doesn't seem like they have a man that can just all business can go in there and just take care of the business. I don't think so, man.
Times to claim asylum in Britain. She joined a Nigerian terror group, which is not a prescribed terror group in Britain, which means she would face persecution back home. And in the last few minutes, I've come into possession of the Daily Telegraph's front page, which we're going to be talking about in more detail later. And I'll read this to you. Ghanaian wins right to stay after staging wedding he wasn't at. Okay? A Ghanaian tourist was granted the right to live in Britain under Brexit marriage rules, even though she did not attend her own wedding. If so many of these cases, all right, the judges, they determine that the claimant is lying. They acknowledge in their verdict that they are being lied to by the claimant. And they still let them stay. What world are we living in? 1 in 13 people in London are here illegally. We let this Afghan nut job with a Kalashnikov on his face come across the channel. Mother. We don't even know if he's been deported yet. Do you remember Abdul Azidi, the Afghan who said that he converted to Christianity and was allowed to live in Britain before dousing a woman and a child in acid and throwing himself off a bridge? Interesting that he converted to Christianity because he did have a Muslim burial, by the way. But how do these lawyers who manufacture these claims sleep at night? And how do the judges who side in their favour sleep at night? If you don't deport these people, some of them can kill us. I mean, this happened outside Liverpool Maternity Hospital. Ahmad al-Swalmi was a failed Syrian asylum seeker who we didn't deport, and he just blew himself up. He wanted to blow up as many women and babies as possible, but his bomb detonated too early for him. We've had an estimated 1,600 people cross the channel so far this year. We've got illegal immigrants in every major town and city just hanging around. We all know it. We all know this. It's a matter of time before one of them goes on a murderous rampage. And when they do, I will hold the immigration judges, the lawyers, and our pathetic politicians responsible. Let's go towards my panel this evening. We've got Conservative peer Lord Bailey, senior reporter at Guido Fawkes, Wheatley, and we've also got former Labour Minister Bill Rummel. Sure, I mean, it's just every single day with these cases, isn't it? I'm just not quite sure how, especially the judges, sleep at night, because we're seeing time and time again them acknowledging in their summing up that they are being lied to, and they still seem to side in their favour.
I think there's three things to say. Firstly, I think these judges are in rarefied air, and it's an academic pursuit for them, and they're coming to these judgments. But I thought if you lied in court, you're in contempt of court. That should make it even easier to give a verdict in the right direction. Secondly, a system only works if people act within the spirit of it. And I think the legal system needs to be better at policing itself to find these lawyers and solicitors and whoever they are who are helping people game the system. And thirdly, we need to build a system that is significantly harder to game, because while it can be gamed, people will do so.
Yeah, now the risk for me is, and I'm going to take you live to Germany in a few minutes' time, because there's been an awful attack there, as we were just hearing before. But the risk is that if you don't deport people who have failed their asylum claims, that they can go on and cause us some serious harm.
I mean, of course that's a risk. I mean, there's also a risk that people who haven't necessarily claimed asylum and who are just originally in the UK anyway could go on and do that too. For example, Axel Radikubana.
Yep.
But I think the important thing is that this is another example of human rights law undermining the British migration system. So in this particular case with this Nigerian woman, although the judge accepted that this was a manufactured sort of claim, under human rights, under the ECHR, she could not deport women back to Nigeria because although the terrorist organization wasn't described as a terrorist organization in the UK, it is in Nigeria, so she was at risk. And the thing is, Starmer's said that this ruling was wrong. He's going to look at the law to change it, etc. He's not going to do that. He's a human rights lawyer. He's surrounded by human rights lawyers, like Lord Hermer, who just the other day was saying he will, the UK will never leave the ECHR. We will never go against any of its rulings. So they're not going to do that. And so this is just going to continue.
I want to see some investigations built into the judges, but also in the case of this Nigerian lady, into the lawyers, because she's tried and failed 8 times, I understand, right? And now, hey, maybe of her own.
Unbelievable what they're going through over there. That shit is just insane.
Yeah, it makes us look almost rational.
Well, only recently, only recently, because we was.
Yeah, we're still a stupid shithole for sure.
Yeah. Recently though, we I'm sure every country over there wishes they had a Trump now. Let's see.
A Miami Gardens man was facing up to life in prison for shooting his girlfriend 5 times. The confessed shooter has been on trial this week and was trying to convince jurors that he shot in self-defense. But today, after hearing all the evidence, jurors cleared him from all crimes. Wow. Let's get to NBC6's Christian Colon, who joins us with what the jury decided and how the woman he shot is responding.
After hearing from the shooter and the victim in this case, who was shot multiple times, jurors sided with the shooter. They found the man not guilty of attempted first-degree murder and not guilty for doing the shooting.
Bridget Knighton was inconsolable after learning her ex-boyfriend, Gail Blunt, the man who shot her 5 times, will be a free man.
My body's changed forever. Forever. This is why women can't come forward. I feel like the system don't have your back. It's awful. I can't believe this happened. How did it happen?
Blunt has been on trial for attempting to kill Knighton. However, the defendant broke his silence and confessed to jurors he shot because he feared his ex was reaching for a gun.
I was just trying to stop a threat. I wasn't trying to, I was just trying to incapacitate her, but not kill her.
After hearing from both sides,
the defendant is not guilty. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Jurors sided with the shooter.
I'm in shock. I never thought this would happen. I gave the system a chance. This is the 3rd time they let me down.
Knighton was stunned since for the past 4 years, she's fought for him to go to prison. Just last week, Blunt pleaded guilty for attempting to kill her in exchange for a 20-year prison deal. But Knighton stepped in and demanded more prison time. The deal collapsed and Blunt chose a trial.
We're concerned.
Well, they had him for 20 years and she said she wanted him to do more time.
And it's funny too, the whole like system failed me. I'm a black woman, blah blah blah. It's like you can make the same argument that it's a pro-black system because the guy that got off is black, so that doesn't hold any water.
They never used it. They never get that the other person on the end of the cup, the blunt, anything, the gun is a black person. They never. It only counts when it's a white person. It's a black person. It almost didn't even happen. They know you can't. They know you people ain't gonna be outraged with you.
Concerned initially that the jury may not believe him because he was a man and a large man at that. But at the end of the day, justice was served.
Knighton now fears today will be the start of a violent future.
In my heart, I know he's going to come back and try to finish what he started. That's my fear.
And tonight, the state attorney's office is responding, saying they are disappointed with the jury's decision, but say they respect it. On the other hand, Blunt will have to stay in jail for now because he has an open case out of Broward County with the same victim. Defense attorneys say that case will soon also come to an end. We're in Miami.
traveling DV show and shit.
Just backing up the system with bullshit after bullshit.
Daryl will check back in tonight. A Marion County teenager sentenced to decades in prison for a violent attack on a 91-year-old in her own home. Jessie Stone was just 14 when the crime happened in the small community of Reddick this past spring. And Channel 9's Nick Pampantonis is in Ocala. Stone did not react when the judge gave prosecutors almost everything they wanted here, Nick.
Yeah, and I actually just got a text message from a member of the victim's family. They were not in court today, but they said they wish that he had gotten more than the 25 years the judge sentenced him to. I'm just going to quote here, "I do not believe someone that does what he did can be rehabilitated."
I hear it in his voice. He really, even now, he worries about her.
Jessie Stone's grandmother said the now 15-year-old has an unbelievable amount of remorse for what he did last June, when Stone broke into his 91-year-old neighbor's house, beat her, held her down with a pillow, and sexually assaulted her.
He was 14 years old when this event
I don't
happened.
care how old you are. I don't care how old you are when that happens, man. Like, you know that's wrong. There's no way somebody could think that that wasn't wrong.
I really don't care how much remorse he has. He should be deleted. You had your chance, you blew it. You're deleted.
Unbelievable, man.
No prior criminal history on his score sheet whatsoever. His brain was nowhere near fully developed when this incident happened and is still probably 10 years off from that.
The pleas for mercy having no effect on the judge who sentenced him to 25 years in prison.
Mr. Stone, this is unfortunate for you, for the victim, for both of your families. I said, what is going on? Why are you behaving like this? I don't get it. And he says, why does my mother hate me so much? That's what came out. So then I realized he's in pain.
The grandmother saying he was abandoned by his father, who also introduced him to pornography at a young age. Prosecutors say he went to the woman's house seeking an escape and lost control of himself. The judge said the woman was lucky to be alive. The teenager whispering to himself before the sentence and showing no emotion when he learned of his new reality. That was a much longer sentence than you were asking for. Do you have any comment on it?
No, I don't. Thank you.
I did not get a chance to speak with Stone's parents and other family members as they made their way out of this building, but I can tell you that they were quite emotional as some of those details were being read out and, of course, as that sentence was being handed down. Live in Ocala, Nick Pampantonis, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Wow. Oh, shit.
Fort Worth police say they arrested a serial robber who held up 24 businesses at gunpoint. This string of crimes is believed to be the most robberies committed by a single individual in the city's history. Fox 4's Deion Anglin live with details on the investigation. Deion.
Hi there, Clarice. Well, police say the fortunate thing is that no one was hurt during this major string of aggravated robberies, and the suspect, they say, is someone who before this had no criminal history at all. Well, Justin Lockett is that suspect. Bullshit. He was arrested based on witness accounts and evidence, surveillance evidence. But police say he's charged with committing 24 armed robberies at businesses primarily in the south and southwestern areas of Fort Worth, including the 7-Eleven store in the 7400 block of Oakmont Boulevard. Investigators say the crimes spanned several months, and they say Lockett used a gun and wore a mask to threaten or terrorize workers at one business after another until surveillance video and other evidence gathered helped identify him.
And terrorize, yeah. I mean, you point a gun at somebody and it's not good. And you're talking about 24 different businesses that he's done this to, multiple individuals. I mean, you're affecting a lot of lives. There's a lot of trauma there for people.
Now, police say Lockett was arrested on Saturday based on tips from people and other evidence. They say at times with some of the robberies, A female acted as an accomplice. That person, 24-year-old Aviana Weatherspoon, is also facing charges. Now, police say as far as the serial crime spree goes, it is believed to be the most robberies committed by a single individual in the city's history. That's the very latest live. Clarice, back to you.
All right, Dion, thank you.
Mothers and fathers, sons and daughters, fentanyl is killing so many people in one North Texas city alone that the police department there now has a unit that's dedicated to wiping out that drug. This week, we have been taking you along with detectives so we can all see the fight firsthand from the inside. Last night, we showed you how one business is a magnet right now for crime, but it's also happening in neighborhoods, it's happening near schools, and in one case, we watched as the detectives set up a drug deal at a popular park right in the middle of the afternoon.
You still have him, Sarge?
Yeah, 10-4. We're playing, it's just really a game of cat and mouse.
All right, we're rolling from the sector. The plan is for Greg to pull up and meet him in the park.
We don't want him to dictate and lead us into any kind of trap or ambush or anything like that. All right, he's making a left northbound on, I don't know the name of the street. I think he's just juking the school traffic. So you got a career criminal, they're very savvy. They don't make it easy on us, that's for sure. They'll run traffic patterns, they'll make heat runs, they got counter surveillance. They'll pick you off. So you got to be on your A game.
Wow.
How's it coming up?
Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. ASAP Rocky, he's going it. Damn. Give me another city. Give me a city. Give me a city, guys.
Portland.
Portland. Continue to support the channel. Take the $7 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, or Super Chat in honor of Aknation's birthday, 47. Let's see. Portland. Let's see what's going on. Portland. Portland. Wow. Hey, I guess we
Did you
gotta
see
wait for
that
somebody to get killed.
federal judge blocks the trans executive order about trans?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. They're gonna block every one of them now. Temporary restraining order, though. So how much is that? How long is that temporary restraining order? It was indefinite. But you know, it's like it's gonna be a fight. Yeah, all that stuff's gonna be a fight. But Trump's got a team working on that, and he's gonna keep pushing ahead forward while his team, our lawyers, work that out behind the scenes. Let's see. Wow, not much going on. Somebody got a lot of static in the background. I don't know what that is. Ham radio or something. Let's see what's going on here. Damn. Slow, man. It's slow. It's slow here in Portland, man. Where all the black people at, man? Well, give me another city, man. Give me another city.
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. You know what we can do? Gun memorial, man. Gun memorial. I haven't done that in a while. Here we go.
Right now, Minneapolis police are searching for suspects responsible for multiple violent crimes.
Chief Brian O'Hara is calling it an alarming crime spree. Our Bill Keller, he's live on top of the story in Minneapolis with more on what police are saying. Bill, good morning.
Good morning. In fact, in less than 2 hours, officers in the 3rd Precinct responded to 6 separate incidents, including 2 shootings that police say were committed by the same group of men. Now, one of those shootings was captured by a security camera, and while that video may be helpful for investigators, a warning, it may be difficult for some to watch.
Somebody looking out that window. Come on, come on, come on.
Damn. He just fired that gun into the night. That motherfucker. Yikes.
A warning, it may be difficult for some to watch.
Somebody looking out that window. Come on, come on, come on.
Somebody looking out the window. Ethiopians?
Yeah, just after 5 a.m. yesterday morning, that surveillance video captured the suspects breaking into a garage. This is at a home north of Lake Hiawatha. Now, as they were getting ready to leave, they noticed a man across the alley looking out a window. That's when one of the suspects opened fire, shooting the 54-year-old in the jaw. Thankfully, we're told he is expected to survive.
That motherfucker hit him? These ain't no Sunmen, man. What race is these, man? These hombreros? He hit that motherfucker from over there. This is crazy. These on Brito. This is something. This ain't sons. These ain't sons. Shout out to Jake Best, man. Jake Best says, for Ak B-Day, and here's the Ak coverage of CC and the Fever. First chip this year. Thanks, Ak. Yeah.
I concur.
Man. Championship or bust.
But a 25-year-old man was shot during a robbery about a half hour later. He has potentially life-threatening injuries. Police say the suspect's in a white sedan connected to an aggravated robbery, several burglaries, a carjacking, and those 2 shootings. Chief Brian O'Hara says what makes these types of incidents so concerning is that they are rarely done without a plan or specific motive.
All this person did in the video we watched was look out their window to see what's going on. I mean, it's just, obviously if someone becomes the victim of a crime, we always remind people that property can be replaced. Your life can't. I don't know what you're supposed to say to somebody that simply looked out their window because they heard a noise, and the next thing you know, they're getting shot. That's terrible.
Yeah, police say they did recover that white Mazda that was used in this crime spree. They also recovered an SUV that was stolen during the carjacking, but no arrests have been made. The police chief says they are following up on several leads, but they are asking for the public's help. They want anyone with information about those suspects. Maybe you recognize who that is. They ask you to call Crime Stoppers. The tips can remain anonymous. Back to you guys.
Yeah, definitely looking to find those folks quickly. Thank you, Bill.
Yeah. Crime spree. Other than that, these goddamn white folk is living a dream up here, man. They living a dream up here. Just being white and together. Wow. Nothing but illegals. Man, we don't have niggas that at a high rate of niggas. The news is
Okay, another top story here at 5. The former director of the embattled Minneapolis Neighborhood Safety Department is now speaking out. She is defending the work of her office to provide greater oversight of violence prevention funding.
And as Fox 9 has reported, the city has been accused of handing out violence prevention contracts worth hundreds of thousands of dollars without following up to verify how that money was used.
I would definitely call it a broken system. I would also say that it was a system that, in the way that it was developed, makes the environment ripe for corruption. I believe that the vast majority of organizations wanted to do the right thing. They were just never asked or told what to do. As far as services, I think they got some pretty good guidance, and they were doing services in the way that they believe worked best. But we can't prove that because we don't have any documentation of, what was being done, where.
So they just giving out these contracts and never hearing from these people again. Giving out these fucking grants and shit, never hearing from them again, never following up. Just here, nigga, take this money, man, for George Floyd. This is George Floyd, the George Floyd money. Wow. Unbelievable. Doge, man. They need a city. Each city need a Doge.
Was being done, how often, and ultimately we cannot answer how much it costs to keep people safe, which should have been the focus.
Luana Nelson Brown resigned her position last month. Today, she sat down for her first interview since leaving City Hall. This as several key council members want to move more than $1 million in violence prevention funding to the county, having lost faith in that office.
Fox 9's Paul Bloom is live downtown for us, and Paul, tensions running really high on this one.
Sure were, Simone Kelsey. Really interesting to hear from the former director there earlier today. But of course, we are talking about programming and funding in City Hall's violence prevention efforts, away from traditional policing, of course, in the wake of the murder of George Floyd. So this debate for so many is personal.
Just moments into the debate over the fate of $1.25 million in violence prevention funding at City Hall.
And take care of the needs of our people. I shouldn't have to come here and say nothing.
Longtime neighborhood activist Reverend Jerry McAfee took over the podium out of turn, shutting down the meeting for several minutes.
And we're being toyed and played with. I'm doing the funerals. I'm out there on the block.
A group of key council members proposing to move the money to county control and oversight, having lost confidence in the city's neighborhood safety department overseeing the violence prevention work that goes beyond traditional policing.
It's about our current group violence intervention programs not being accurately and effectively being managed and deployed, and that leading to harmful outcomes for our residents.
As Fox 9 has reported
What
previously,
the fuck are you talking about?
have been under fire of late.
They trying to keep that money. They see that money might be slipping away. They just talking word salad, trying to keep that money.
Settlement has led to additional guardrails and enhanced procedures in contracting and oversight that some on the council still find inadequate. But current and former leaders at City Hall argue the programming has now become far too political.
I highly encourage taxpayers and residents to oppose moving that money until you can see who the recipients were, more importantly, who did not get the funding and why.
Shit.
I want to know who are these people that take these jobs of violence interrupter. I know that we see like the ones in like Baltimore, but it's just like who would willingly go into a dangerous situation with people with weapons? Like you're not a cop, you don't have any protections. Fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and that shit doesn't work. That shit is all a scam. Them young boys is not listening. Them young boys is shooting at each other every night. And you may be able to stop like some little shit, like maybe some shit with some, guys, older guys. You can't stop. Man, you can't stop some niggas from shooting. Some dudes came through, shot up a block last night, killed somebody. You can't stop them dudes from going back and retaliating. Are you kidding me?
Well, if you're San
Civil rights
Francisco, you
leaders are
can pay
demanding
them
action
off.
after a guard in downtown LA is caught on camera slapping a woman at Taco Bell cantina. We want to warn you, some of the video may be disturbing. This happened on Sunday. The
Ay,
incident
caramba.
has gone viral. Activists are calling for the guard's arrest, firing, and a meeting with Taco Bell's CEO to address this. There you go, right there. That was a slap.
You can't tell me that. You can't tell me he's from the Middle East. That dude's from Albania or something.
Yeah.
Why
you say he's not from the Middle East?
I'm just saying. I just believe that he was somebody from Afghanistan or Saudi Arabia somewhere.
Yeah, the way he slapped her, because he didn't hesitate, and it was
he done it before.
He know how to deal with a woman.
Exactly.
Somebody got a lot of static going on, but it's like he leaned right into it and hit her right good. I'm sure the last time she was slapped like that was probably her mother.
On Sunday, the incident has gone viral. Activists are calling for the guard's arrest, firing, and a meeting with Taco Bell's CEO to address this.
I mean, perfect form, and he caught her right there on the cheek. I mean, pow. And she's homeless. You can tell she's homeless. She's crazy. She got on shorts and a sweater with a goddamn shirt under it, goddamn tennis shoes and shit.
No laces.
That slap reminds me of that one dude with that.
You broke up, man. She
we can't hear you.
Deserved it. I bet you she deserved it. I would love to see the previous few minutes of this film. I guarantee you she deserved it. That guy ain't just slapping no black woman like that for no reason. She deserved that shit. I guarantee you she deserved it. She asked for that shit. She demanded that shit. I guarantee you she was like, you better smack me, motherfucker. And he was like, all right. Make sure you take the $7 challenge via PayPal, Cash App, or the Super Chat. Support the channel, man. Let's see. This one right here. Nobody has the footage that's going on. No one has the footage from before.
Yeah, that's suspicious.
She got humbled real quick too, yo.
She stepped right off. She didn't try to fight. You know how usually black women try to fight with men and shit? He smacked her so good. He smacked her. She said, oh, that's a man. That was a man smack. I don't want no more of that. I don't want that.
She was out. She's like, I ain't fucking around with this.
Yeah, he got low on his ass. Let's see what the Wokey Wokes have to say about it.
Taco Bell. A Taco Bell security guard slaps a black woman for trying to order. I'm going to go to the video
That shit ain't had no fucking
and provide some commentary. Here it is. Okay. So there's the physical assault. Okay.
That's right, man. That looked like an burrito to me, man.
Look like a Lebanese.
You think so? Yeah, it could be. Could be. But whatever it is, it's one of y'all peoples of color, man. It ain't a white person.
Obviously. Roland's pissed about that.
Put it up full mass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he wants it to be a white guy.
Footage from inside of the Taco Bell. This is in downtown Los Angeles. Shows the restaurant security guard, according to the allegation, confronting a woman and then slapping her on the head. The woman is seen walking away and the security guard follows her to the door after he tells her to leave the premises. The video does not show the buildup to this, and it's unclear what sparked the exact confrontation. Taco Bell has been reached for comment, but there has reportedly been no response. We need to know what the hell happened. Okay, so this is one of those videos where we don't have the rest of the story. Obviously, we would assume that Taco Bell has video cameras for the safety of their employees inside of the building and maybe right outside of the building. We assume that there are witnesses to this encounter who may not have had the opportunity to provide their explanation as to what happened. We also assume that a manager is somewhere in the mix of this. And so we would like to have more information. If you got more information, please contact us at Indisputable. But on any day of the week, when I see someone, put those pictures back up. When I see someone who is allegedly in authority, a security guard at a facility, strike somebody, especially a female, in this manner, obviously it is going to raise a significant red flag with me. And even though we may not have all of the additional details, I can present it to ask for more, and that's what's happening. Jackson, hell of a thing. Not a lot of information forthcoming. Sometimes that's indicative of a red flag as well. What's to you?
Yeah, I mean, I just, especially if you're in a position to keep people protected, first and foremost, there's no reason for him to have put his hands on her like that at all. Before you actually hit somebody, I mean, like, I've been a security guard before, and you know that you're not supposed to actually strike anybody. For, lawsuits, liability purposes, you can get the establishment in trouble. So, like, you know that that's really not a part of the job. If you're a security guard, it's not your job to assault people. So, whatever type of trouble that he finds himself in because of that, there's no sympathy to be given his way. And I was just kind of chuckling because it's like, if I slapped him like that, his whole head would break. And right. I always hate when I see stuff like that, because it's like, okay, man, like, you're a tough guy, I guess. But yeah, he knows better. At the end of the day, he does.
Yeah, that's right. All right. We'll bring you updates as they come, guaranteed.
Next up, our discussion.
I bet you will. Slap the shit out that bitch. Let's see the gun memorial, man. Let's go to the gun memorial, man. Gun memorial. Long time no see, gun memorial. Wow. Look at this white boy. Is that a white boy? Yeah. That white boy. That white boy was hanging around with the Suns, man. He was too close to the sun, man. He got a suntan. I'm willing to bet this white boy got a suntan. Man charged with Darlington County shooting went on crime spree following murder. Deputies make arrest in deadly Darlington County. Oh, he got killed by a white boy. Wow. He got killed by a trashy ass white boy, just like himself. That's crazy. Joseph Falciani, man. New Jersey. Was this a mob hit? He got killed on the Jersey Shore. Wow, he got killed in front of his 10-year-old son. Shit.
Family member arrested.
Yeah. Damn. Wow. He got into an argument and the gang single gunshot was heard before witnesses discovered Falciani lying at the top of the staircase. The door the door near the shooting scene was locked and displayed damage consistent with being forcibly kicked in. There was an older dude, the older family member killed him. Shit. Joyce Austin. $71. Police called the home multiple times before deadly shooting. The Johnson County District Attorney's Office charged Luke Anthony Howard with 2 counts of first-degree murder, saying the killings were intentional and premeditated. Oh, wow. He killed his mother and his aunt. Damn. Shit. This kid looked like he might have been on the wrong path. 16-year-old. A teen was arrested for killing him. Wow. Jeez. What happened to you, baby? Oh, yeah, this is the aunt. In the other story, she got killed too. Wow, Alfred Frenfield. What happened? They don't have no story about him. He just dead. Wow. Wyoming mom shot her 4 daughters before shooting herself. Damn. Shit. Damn. Jeez. All these black folk, man. Who's this girl? 14-year-old boy in custody for shooting and killing teen girl in North St. Louis County. Girl looked like she was a basketball player, right? Yeah. Basketball player.
I thought that was a girl at first.
This is a girl.
Oh, I saw the 14-year-old boy in custody. My bad.
Yeah. Shot her ass. Shit. All these black people. God damn.
There's that transgender.
Yeah. I know he would be pissed off. Like, how can you tell? How you know? Like, motherfucker, everybody know motherfucking shit. Why you keep getting misgendered? Wow. These fucking niggas, man. God damn. Niggas getting shot.
Like, if you just showed this to somebody, like, fucking who had no idea what America was like, they probably assume that Sunmen were like 50% of America.
At the very least. Yeah. Golly, man.
And then if you told them the truth, they'd probably be like, no way.
Right. It's like you could go, you gotta sift through this shit to find a white people. Is that a white boy? Yeah, that's a white boy. He thought he was tough and shit. Got his shit pushed back. It can happen, man. By another white boy. He got his shit pushed back by another white boy. Mm. Oh, okay. Jessica Dalton. Police ID subjects in Orchard shootings. No others believed to be involved. Mm. Damn. It's an active homicide investigation. That white woman was, man.
You like girls with tattoos, Zach?
No, not at all. I don't even like girls that curse, man. I don't like a woman that
Salute.
curse or smoke cigarettes. Isaiah Fryer.
The picture's got to be from when he was like 14 or something. He doesn't look like a 19-year-old.
Man, white people starting to do that shit too, then. Use the old pictures. We know who doing this shit. We just can't fucking. I don't feel like looking at the black people, man. There's too many of them. Too many of these black folk. Um, uh, wow. Wow. What happened to this shit? Jody Hopkins. Murder charges filed against a man accused of killing 3 women in Kansas City's Northland. Shit. Glider. Ombrito killed her and 2 other women. Jeez. All right, let's see. Jasmine.
Me, Jasmine Crockett, your candidate for State Rep in House District 100, and I've got a really important message.
This was before she got all ghetto-fied. I seen another clip of her talking proper as shit too. I'm talking about talking the Queen's English, like a Valley girl. She's from a good family in St. Louis. She's a very good family. She never was like hood or nothing like that.
Hey, it's
Isn't that amazing though that she plays up her ratchetness to like for political reasons? Like that makes her more popular. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane. But I mean, when you really just think about it, it does make sense. It's shrewd and it's like, you know what I'm saying, it's Machiavellian, but she's found a way to increase her power, and it's by doing that. And she shameless about it, man. She like, shit, if this is what I gotta do to get black folk to be on my side. Because it's other black congresswomen and shit like that that don't do all this shit that nobody knows their fucking name.
I think the other day she actually came out and like she was just like Trump was not elected. It was fraudulent.
Yeah, she's definitely nuts. But
Off the
what
shits.
happened?
Hey, it's Attorney Jasmine Crockett, your candidate for State Rep in House District 100, and I've got a really important message. Really important message. And it's not just that Election Day is going to be July 14th, where I'm going to be on your ballot and I should be your choice for State Rep in House District 100, but also that the last day to register, if you've not registered just yet, is going to be June 15th, and that is Monday. So please make sure you get your voter registration in. We want to make sure that your voice is heard. We absolutely want to make sure that you participate in this runoff election. If you live in House District 100, which is South Dallas, portions of West Dallas, East Dallas, a portion of Mesquite, then please call us and we'll make sure that you get registered. You can call us or you can DM us. Thank you so much. And don't forget, make sure you get registered. Hey, it's Attorney Jasmine Crockett, your candidate for State Rep in House District 100, and I've got a really important message. Really important message. And it's not just that Election Day is going to be July 14th, where I'm going to be on your ballot and I should be your choice for State Rep in House District 100, but also
But
that
why?
the last day, if you've not registered just yet, is going to be June 15th, and that is Monday. So please make sure you get your voter registration in. We want to make sure that your voice is heard. We absolutely want to make sure that you participate in this runoff election. If you live in House District 100,
Jesus Christ. She was normal.
Is she is that her husband? Is she married to a white guy or a black guy?
I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. Look, I mean, I would be floored if she was married to a fucking white dude, man. But I wouldn't. I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be, but for some reason, I don't think she would. No way. No way.
Well, you know, I could just tell that she loves white dudes.
Yeah, she probably does. But no, let me see. Jasmine Crockett, where you at? Well,
Because
she
for all
don't
the
have.
shit that some women talk, man, they go for the white dudes.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a family. Yeah, I'm not seeing a family. I think she's yet to they said the truth about Jasmine Crockett and husband. Um said Jasmine Crockett was a successful lawyer before becoming a politician, earning an estimated $5,000 per hour fee. $5,000 per hour as a lawyer. So she was probably
She
doing
wanted
all that.
more.
Wow. She had been practicing for no more than 2 years, and it's clear she's corrupt. No, one probably. That's crazy. That's crazy. Shit. She winning, man. I ain't gonna, man. Fuck. That chick got all that fucking. She got a bunch of money too. She's rich. How much is she worth? Well, she ain't on this list, but she's still worth a lot.
I think it said 9 million.
Yeah, she working her way up. Look at all these rich motherfucking congressmen.
Ilhan Omar came from Somalia. Now she got $90 million. Still bitching about the country. That's fucking crazy.
Right. Disrespectful. So disrespectful, man. So disrespectful. So disrespectful. Mm.
White Americans how white slave owners raped, beat, humiliated, mutilated, murdered, and cannibalized their slaves.
They're really big on this cannibalized thing. What's that all about? I've heard that frequently recently.
Oh, really? Cannibalized?
Yeah. It's a talking point.
How white slave owners raped, beat, humiliated, mutilated, murdered, and cannibalized their slaves. Accurate history is teaching that George Washington's false teeth were made out of his slaves' teeth. Accurate history is teaching that Abraham Lincoln may have said some words and signed some shit, but he did not physically do anything to free the slaves. The white abolitionists also often get almost total credit for freeing the slaves. I bet you've never even asked yourself.
Oh, they freed themselves.
And
Uh-huh.
the answer to that is most of the fucking work, including giving the ultimatum of war. But then we get a bunch of white people mad that their kids might feel guilty if we teach real history. It's not about your white child's feelings. Teaching accurate history isn't about white people's feelings, but that does sound like something that someone who's only ever been taught a white glorifying version of history would counter with. Ask why we ever felt like we needed to curate a false version of what white people did and did not do to black people to begin with. And then ask yourself why white ass politicians are verbally attacking real history by calling it slurs, which is by default also the act of calling black people slurs.
Wow. Salute to Deluxe 247. Good.
She's acting like the United States is like the Japanese, just pretending that they didn't do anything in China. Like, nah, not even close.
Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Shout out to my man Darren, man. Darren in the building, man. Darren says, Ralph, y'all got sentenced today. Yeah, we did that. We covered that, man. Salute to you, man. We covered that one. Salute to you, man. Jesus Christ. These liberals are so fucking crazy, man. And annoying. This headline is crazy. It's true though. I remember when the story happened. It's just you would think that this was like a joke. What can you do, man? I mean, like, just to think, throw their lives with that rape and that murder and setting her on fire, all these dudes are gonna get like 1,000 years. It's almost like some men don't like. It's almost like unfair to lock them up, because it's like if the way we think, it's not fair. It's like if you of course a lot of us are gonna end up in jail because of the way we think in our IQ and glandular responses and shit like that. Look at that, man. Look at that shit, man.
I know we'd like to say that they don't feel shame, but here they clearly were emasculated or something. They were embarrassed to have lost to this woman. I'm guessing that's why they did this. Like publicly shamed by losing to a woman.
Yeah. You can lose to a woman. It's not that serious. These motherfuckers just, Jesus Christ. I mean, what can you say, man? At least you're speechless, man. At least you're speechless.
Fucking hairbrush.
The day was out. But
You couldn't have came up with a better first or third invention kind of other than a hairbrush.
Right. A day without black inventions. How could you make it? What would you do if you couldn't have any black inventions?
A day in the life without black inventions, part 3. So first I decided to brush my hair and then realized I couldn't. So I went and brushed my teeth.
Lydia Newman obviously did not invent the hairbrush, even though Google says she did. She was born in 1885 and supposedly invented the hairbrush in the 1890s. But the hairbrush obviously was not invented in the 1890s. I think we can clearly see that through historical texts and archaeological evidence. There's an official U.S. patent for a hairbrush.
It's common fucking sense.
1870. The inventor was Samuel Firey. We also have this official patent. This is the first hairbrush patent filed in the United States, and it is from 1854. So both of these clearly predate Lydia Newman.
And then decided to clean up a little and then realized I couldn't use a dustpan.
As with the hairbrush, the dustpan has probably existed for quite some time. Just because you get a patent for something doesn't necessarily mean you are the original inventor. Lloyd P. Ray did invent a type of dustpan, and he filed this patent in 1897, but there are over 140 variations of a dustpan patent that happened before that. And this is the first one from 1858.
So I watched some Netflix and eat a snack and then realized I couldn't eat chips either.
So George Speck was definitely Native American. Some people said he had some African ancestry, but this is not confirmed. This is actually him, but a lot of people share this image online for some reason. I have no idea who this person is, but this is not the same person. But even if we grant that this is the same person and George was African or black, he still didn't invent the potato chip. Legend says he invented it in the 1850s, but we have this cookbook from this individual, which does in fact have the recipe for potato chips. And that's in 1817.
And I went to go dry some clothes to realize I couldn't do that.
This clothes dryer she referenced was patented in 1938. Multiple sources, including this article from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, says the original clothes dryer was invented in France in 1799. And in 1930, the first electronic drying device for clothes was invented.
And realized I couldn't even use the doorknob. Child.
So the type of doorknob that Dorsey invented was patented in 1878. And obviously the doorknob existed before then. And really doorknobs have existed for a very long time. Back in 2010, a 5,000-year-old doorknob was found in Sweden.
Damn, he shit it all on the black inventors, man. Jeez.
You know he's getting all types of hate.
So let's see. Okay, they all received life sentences. Yeah, he's definitely getting a lot of hate.
I had Twitter back in like 2012, but man, I see I'm missing out on some stuff.
Oh yeah, it's changed a lot since Elon got it, man.
Yeah, apparently Mariah Carey's black. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mariah Carey's black. Yeah, she's one of the finest black women too. That's what they say. Oh, here's the All-Star game is this weekend in Oakland. This guy, this wonderful Oakland emissary, this liaison from Oakland wants to tell us, give us some advice. If you're going to the All-Star game this weekend, man, in Oakland, you need some advice, man.
Yeah, don't go.
Hey, if you're going to be at All-Star weekend, do not, I repeat, out-of-town niggas, do not walk around that motherfucker hella comfortable. Do not come out here. Don't even have a car. Don't have a car. Don't have a Sprinter van. They bip Sprinters too. Shit. They're dip a motherfucking armor truck. Don't link up with the wrong Bay Area rap niggas. Don't link up with the niggas that's bitches. Do your homework. They gonna get you robbed too. Cause they gonna get robbed too. Stay away from the bitches that don't got the side part. If they ain't got the side part, leave them bitches alone. They setup artists. Come with your best costume jewelry, the fake shit, the shit that look real but it's fake. Come with that shit. I'm telling you now. Come with it. If they do catch you, just give it up. Pause. Don't think it's sweet out here.
Wow. Thanks, though. I mean, it's sad that and he's only talking to black men, but it's sad, man. But thank you, I guess. Thanks.
Yeah, I can appreciate the concern, I guess.
Yeah, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Was that Elon Musk's father? Yeah, this was funny. Elon Musk's dad. Yeah, he wild as shit. This is Elon Musk's dad.
Michelle Obama's
Fucking
a man.
South African OG.
You don't know that?
I didn't know that. No.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joan Rivers mentioned it publicly, and she was dead 2 weeks later, by the way.
You think Michelle Obama's a man?
Of course. You don't know that?
I didn't know that. No.
Well, now you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joan Rivers mentioned it publicly, and she was dead 2 weeks later, by the way.
You think?
Oh, yes.
They axed her, eh?
They axed her, yeah. So that's common knowledge. You can look it up on any internet thing.
Sure.
And yeah, Michelle Obama's a man. Obviously, you know, they've got, you know, so the pictures of her in tracksuits with a 9-inch slong hanging down her leg.
Michelle Obama.
He doesn't mince words.
Damn. Jeez Christ. That's Elon. Elon got to put a muzzle on his dad, man. He don't need no extra bullshit coming his way. Tell the dad to shut the fuck up. That's going to fall back on Elon. Oh, a black woman. He doesn't like black women. He hates black women, man. Yeah, man. Salute everybody, man. Great show, man. Great show, man. Great show. Salute to everybody out there, man. When you find, hey, Mystic, man, come on, man. Tell me you got something for me, Mystic. Mystic Philly. Tell me you got something for me. I need to sleep, man. Mystic Philly, goddamn.
It's Friday night.
Yeah, I got more birthday cake to finish, man. Salute to everybody out there, man. This was a great show, man. Get in the comment section, man. Hit the like button. Same black time, same black channel. Out of here. Salute to Deluxe 247, aka Cal Ripken, aka the real MVP, coming through once again. Make sure I didn't forget to shout him out if I did. I'm out of here.